Okay. Hi, I'm Caleb Jones, last time I checked. And this is Alpha Male 2.0, freedom-focused lifestyle design for men. Location-independent income through a location-independent Alpha 2.0 laptop-based business that sets you free from your bullshit 9-to-5 corporate job and your dumbass gigs that keep you trapped to your collapsing country. And dating multiple attractive women all at the same time with no lying, cheating, or drama long-term. The greatest lifestyle the modern-day man can possibly experience in the collapsing era in which we live. Today is going to be somewhat, sort of, a part 2 to the live stream podcast I did last week on the changes I've made to my woman life. I'm going to start with some questions, points, objections that some of you made last week, and that rolls right into the actual topic of today. They're kind of one topic. I anticipated questions. That's why I picked this particular topic after the topic I had last week. If you have absolutely no idea what I'm doing and you did not watch or listen to the podcast last week, I strongly suggest you do so. The name of the podcast, I think, is What I've Been Hiding or something like that. Whatever. I think that's it. It's the podcast from last Wednesday, so mid-November 2024. You can watch that or listen to that if you'd like. Okay, hang on here. Normally what I do is I answer questions and then I get to the topic. I decided I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to answer questions at the end. I want to get right to the topic. These live streams are going a little long, so I'm trying to shorten up the time, at least a tad. One note is that next week there will be no podcasts and no live streams. I am traveling to the collapsing USA to visit my family for Thanksgiving. You know, I was having a great day today. I was woke up this morning. It's a fucking beautiful day in Dubai. Perfect weather. It's great. Had a great workout. Worked on 2 big projects that are very exciting and new. They're great. Had sex. Wonderful. Had a great day. Then I sat down and looked at my calendar for the next 2 weeks. And I said, shit. I got to go to America next week. Oh, fuck me. Gross. I got to spend a week in America. Great. I'm so happy about that. That's wonderful. I get to spend a week getting accosted by homeless people and smelling weed everywhere I go and getting pulled over by cops every time I drive everywhere. It's a fucking police day. And I got to listen to the fucking anti-Trumpers bitch about Trump. Everyone's a racist now. It's a racist country, dude. I got to listen to that shit. And then I got to listen to the pro-Trumpers just as bad. Everything's awesome now as I'm fighting off homeless people. As the authoritarian United States government electronically tracks every single day I'm in the USA so they can tax me more money even though I don't fucking live there. Mr. Jones, what time exactly did you fly into SeaTac Airport on the night of November 24, 2000? Fuck you authoritarian Nazi. God damn. Dubai and Paraguay, they don't care when I visit their country, but the United States, authoritarian, we're going to charge you taxes, you live here. I'm so happy. Your fucked up collapsing country ruined my perfect Alpha Male 2.0 day. Good day to you, sir. Oh, shit. Okay, well, hey, I got to see Pig Firefly. So that's good. I'm gonna fuck the shit out of her. Oh, I told her today. Yeah, they're like, get the lube ready. You're gonna be sore. She said, okay. She said, but what about my work? I said, so what? I can fuck you while you're working. It's fine. No, they'll find out. She does a remote job thing. They'll find out. Like, no. Just keep your headset on. I'll just bend you over your desk and, just every once in a while press a key on the keyboard so they know you're still logged in. See, the funny part is you think I'm joking. I am not joking. That is exactly what's going to happen. I haven't seen my little princess in 4 months. I'm going to fill that bitch up. I mean, maybe I will enjoy my trip. Now I'm happy. I'm happy again. That'll be me. I'll be in the United States and it'll be freezing cold November weather instead of here in Dubai where it's beautiful and perfect. and pouring down rain and homeless people and drug addicts everywhere and cops pulling everyone over on the street because they have nothing to do, and all the pro-Trumpers, the anti-Trumpers screaming at each other, and everybody's smoking weed because everyone's depressed, and I'll be walking through. Da, 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 da. I'm going back to Dubai in 4 days. You're all insane. Sing it in the rain. All right. All right. So maybe we should get to our topic. Sorry, I went on a tangent. What was I saying? There will not be any podcasts or live streams next week. I will upload 1 or 2 quickie YouTube videos. I never uploaded the one about when I went to Scotland. I did kind of review on Scotland. I'll do that. And then I might throw up some videos of some stuff. We'll see. Okay. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to address about 4 comments, topics, objections, questions that some of you brought up last week, either during the live stream or in the comments or in my email. Address those, and that'll lead right into what I'm going to talk about today, about how this stuff, ooh, that was gross, excuse me, I just burped. This stuff does not require you, I'm not talking about the things I'm doing. Alpha male 2.0 or doing alpha male things does not require you to spend 10 years becoming an alpha male. I'll give you specific examples in a few minutes. So first of all, let me bring up those questions. I should have had these ready to go. I apologize. Hang on, let me have a drink of water. Da, da, da. I'm going to sing that all. I'm going to be singing that song now for the next 6 hours. Da, 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 singing in the rain. Okay, hang on. Where's my document? Why is it way over there? Let's move this over here. Okay, hang on. I have this new setup here in my office where I have multiple screens while I'm sitting in front of my swords to make it a little easier for me to do this shit. Okay, hang on. I'm almost there. I had to reconfigure this. Hang on. Okay. How do I start this first one? There are 4 items in particular that some of you brought up. And one item in particular is something that other people have brought up, in addition to some of you last week. But some people have been commenting on this in my for my topics for a long time. Matter of fact, when I came out with the new Unchained Man, if you want it, it's available now, alphamalebook.com or unchainedman.io, either one. I had to replace the old version, new version with the old version on Audible and Amazon. And I had never read through the comments of that book on either Audible or Amazon. There's a whole bunch of them. And I never read through them all because I'm Malcolm Independent. I don't care what you think about my books. It's sold hundreds of thousands of copies. Therefore, I don't care about the small percentage of people who don't like it. It's not relevant. But anyway, I decided to read through them because I had never read them in the last 14. I'm like, maybe I should read some of these comments. And the vast majority were positive, but the few negative ones, there were guys in there who said, and I've heard this excuse before, this is one of the questions some of you said, is, before I say what this objection is, let me give you the concept of sideways objections. Now, there is a term, and I don't know what this term is because I didn't go to college and I'm dumb, where you don't like something, you can't object to it directly because you'll sound stupid. Like, you know, if I say, Trump won't build the wall, you can't say, yes, he will, because then you'll sound stupid. So then you'll say something like, well, you want Kamala to win? That's a sideways objection. You can't address what I said because you know I'm right, but you still don't like what I said. So you have to come up with something else and object around it. Okay. So what I'm about to state to you is a sideways objection regarding monogamy. And this comment that I saw on my books, and some of you brought this up, or variations of this, was, why the hell would I settle down with a woman and support her financially if she's allowed to fuck other guys? What the fuck? So I've seen a lot of that throughout the years. Some of you said that last week. You're like, what the fuck? Now, let me answer that question. If you're saying, I don't want to do something, then as I've been saying for 15 years, it is incumbent upon you to tell me, okay, great. Therefore, what are you going to do? And give me the statistics and the facts that show what you're going to do is going to work long-term. Go ahead. And I listen like this, and I hear nothing. I hear crickets. So just saying, that sucks, I'm not going to do that. What you have to do, because this is what I do when I say something sucks, is great. If you say that's horrible, what are you going to do? The implication answer that you're not going to verbalize is, well, I'm going to get monogamous and I'm just going to make it work because I'm red pill and I read Rollo's book and I fucked 27 girls. Oh, you fucked 27 girls. And I know about women and I'm an alpha male and you're going to go monogamous. Or I guess you can make the argument, I am never going to move in with a woman ever for the rest of my life, ever. I've addressed that. That's easy to say when you're 27 or 31 or 25. Say that to my face when you're 45, 55, 65. You won't. You want to move into someone. So these are not arguments. Okay, now I will answer the question, but just realize this is a sideways objection for people who hate non-monogamy and really want to be monogamous, even though they know it doesn't work. See, what you can't say is what people used to say about monogamy, which is what they said to me 15 years ago when I started debating these monogamy topics, saying monogamy doesn't work. What they said to me 15 years ago, women said this to me, men said this to me, pickup artists said this to me, red pill guys said this to me, younger women said this to me, older women said, here's what they all said. Long-term monogamy works great. You just got to marry the right person. You just got to find the right person. They all said that. None of them say that now. I wonder why. Because monogamy's got so bad, they can't say that anymore without looking stupid. I was ahead of the curve on these. There's about 4 or 5 things I was decades ahead of the curve on. Non-monogamy, Bitcoin, collapse of the West. People thought I was crazy in 2012 when I said America was collapsing. What the hell are we talking about? They don't say that now. Okay, so just be aware of what you're doing if that's a question you have. Wow, what the fuck? Why would I possibly? What are you going to do, tough guy? And I won't get an answer because I know the answer. If you said the answer, you'll look stupid. Well, I'm going to get monogamous because it'll work because she'll be a Christian. All the usual bullshit excuses that don't work. Okay? You could just say, I'm not doing this non-monogamy stuff. I'm going to get monogamous. Fuck you. That would at least be honest. Now, here's the answer to that question. Why the hell would you possibly financially support a woman who's allowed to fuck other men? I would never do that. Okay, now here's the answer. There's a bunch of answers. Let me tell you why. Here's your alternative. Number one is the real divorce rate in the Western world right now in 2024 of people who actually get married, not the per capita divorce rate, as I've talked about many times for many years, long time in my books and my blogs. The per capita divorce rate is useless because that's the number of divorces based on the number of people in the country. That is irrelevant because that goes down as less people get married. So dumb tradcons and Christians say, well, divorce rate's going down. Yes, because less people are getting married, dumb fuck. So that's an irrelevant number. Of the people who get married, what does the divorce rate look like? It's over 80%. It's an amalgam. It's not the exact number, but if you look at all these different stats, it used to be 76%. Now it's well over 80%. So the odds of you settling down with a woman and giving her money with the promise that she won't fuck other men, because that's what you're implying you want to do, right? The implication behind that question is, when I settle down and I financially support a woman, she won't be allowed to fuck anybody. And she's going to promise me she won't do it. And she'll do it because she promised. Because alpha male 1.0, motherfucker. Okay, that's your implied statement. When you say, why the hell would you ever settle down with a woman and give her money and support her financially? She's allowed to fuck other guys, right? So you're saying is, you'll financially support a woman if she doesn't fuck other guys, right? Which means you're going to rely on her promise to do so. Just one problem, one of many. I'll just give you one. I'm going to give you more in a second. The divorce rate is 80%. So the odds are in a few years, she's going to dump your ass, divorce your dumb ass, and go fuck another guy. When a woman divorces a man, does she never fuck another guy ever again? No, she just fucks someone else, just like you would just go fuck someone else, right? Right. So did it work? Did that work? Did that model work? Did you ensure while you were paying her bills and supporting her and all that stuff as your husband or live-in boyfriend or whatever, or sugar daddy, whatever model you've got in your head, did that work? Supporting her and then 80% chance she leaves you and then she fucks another guy? How do you think you would feel after? And many of you are in this category. Some of you are in this category. You know how you felt. You settled down with a woman in a monogamous or so relationship. You support her and because she has your children and whatever. And then she dumps your ass and they're like, oh my God, for 5 years, I paid this woman all her bills and now I feel like a dumb fuck. Right? Right. So there's number one. Number two, the cheating rate. Let's say you don't get divorced. What is the percentage probability that she's going to ever fuck another guy if you stay married to her 25 years, 35 years, 45 years? We don't have hard numbers, but we have a close estimate. It's around 40%. And by the way, the number of women who have cheated on men has gone up in the past 20 years with social media and Tinder and all that stuff, whereas men cheating has stayed about the same. They both cheat a lot, but men's cheating hasn't really risen that much. Women's cheating has gone way up. So how are you going to feel, tough guy, when you're supporting a woman and she said, I'm not going to fuck anyone except you, Larry, and you said, okay, good, dude. And then you paid all of her bills, and then she goes and fucks your brother. Now I'm exaggerating. She fucks her ex. She fucks some random guy. She fucks this person and that person. Whoop, she fucks someone else. Did that work? 40%. And that's being kind. By the way, I could do a whole thing about, excuse me, I could do a whole thing about differences in cheating rates with men and women in monogamous relationships. One of you is asking about statistics. Go look at my blogs. I have links for all this stuff. What was I saying? Oh, for example, I've talked about this. Men and women cheat about the same. However, women take longer to cheat. As I've talked about many times, the only time women are sexually loyal is during the honeymoon phase, NRE, when the relationship is new and exciting. Women are very loyal. That's why I tell you guys, if a woman breaks up with you and gets a new boyfriend, leave her alone. Don't touch her. Don't text her. Don't say anything. You're going to act like an idiot. And she'd be like, no, because that's when women are loyal. When the relationship is older, they go, and that's when they usually dump the guy. If they don't dump the guy, they will cheat. So if you have, let me think of an example. If you have a short-term couple, a monogamous couple, man and woman in the Western world, the modern era, okay? By the way, as usual, I'm talking about the Western world in the modern era in the 2020s. I'm not talking about Malaysia. I'm not talking about Indonesia or India or Taiwan. Okay. Some of you guys say, well, all my friends are monogamous and I've never seen. Where do you live? Indonesia. Okay, motherfucker. I'm talking about the Western world. I am also talking about the 2020s, which is where you live. I'm not talking about 1952. A lot of you right-wingers, tradcons are kind of stuck. Your brains are stuck in 1954. Well, this would work if that would work in 1954, not today. Okay. So anyway, when you see two people in a relationship and it's a shorter term relationship, maybe they've been dating for 2 years and one of them is cheating, it's probably the guy. Okay. Because men cheat sooner. Men cheat more consistently across the relationship. They don't cheat sooner. They will cheat at any point in the relationship. Women will wait. Okay. Women cheat just as much as guys, but they'll wait. So, and I believe the statistics bear this out. I could be wrong on this one, but I believe this is true. So a while since I looked at this one. Is that if you see a couple that has been married or together, living together for 10 years or more, 12 years or more, and one of them is cheating, guess which one it is? It's the girl. So how do you feel now? You're paying her bills. You're supporting her. She's fucking another guy because she's cheating on you. And the odds are not low. They're high in the Western world, the modern era. Okay? Again, if you want to convert to Islam and move to Saudi Arabia and get 4 wives who obey you, great. Put your money where your mouth is and go do that, Mr. Alpha Male 1.0. And I would never support a woman. Go ahead. Do it. I don't see you guys doing that, though. It's interesting. All right. Next thing. Hang on a second. Got to ban some teenagers. Hang on. Okay. I gotta change this new system here. I'm gonna change my new setup. All right. Next thing. I've talked this many times already. Whenever a woman promises to not fuck other men because I'm not going to let her fuck other men, I'm not a cuck. If I'm going to financially support her, she needs to promise that she won't fuck other men. And then it makes perfect sense. Then it makes perfect sense to financially support a woman if she just promises. If a woman verbally promises, a woman in the modern era in the Western world, verbally promises to not fuck other guys, I can take that to the bank, baby. That's a guarantee, bro. So guess what then occurs? As I've talked about many times, you now have to spend the rest of your relationship with this woman, years and years, if you're lucky. Statistically, it won't be years and years. She'll dump your dumb ass. But okay, you're going to have to spend the next many, many years doing what? Making sure she doesn't fuck other guys. You're going to have to monitor her behavior. You're going to have to ask her questions like, where were you last night? Why were you late? Let me see your phone. Now, as a Western woman, she's going to say, Yes, master, here's my phone. She's like, fuck you, motherfucker. And then you're going to have conflict and drama and problems. You're going to spend X amount of time in your emotional energy that you could be putting in your Alpha 2.0 business, that you could be putting in your 5 flags, that you could be putting having sex with other women. You're going to put all this emotional energy into making sure that she says that she actually follows through on her promise to not fuck other guys because you're paying her bills and you ain't no cuck. You're going to have all kinds of drama, problems, conflict for the rest of the relationship. Now, as I've said many times, there's a percentage of you who don't care. There's a percentage of you who do not consider happiness as your highest objective. And you will say to me, I don't care. So what? I don't care if I argue with a bitch. So what? That's fine. Great. If you have that attitude, if that's your viewpoint, you don't belong here watching this video or listening to this podcast. And I'm not saying that maliciously. You don't. My entire concept is long-term consistent happiness for men. If you're like, I don't care about happiness, I don't know why you're here watching my content. I really don't. There's still a percentage of you who are doing this, who don't think happiness is that important. You're still listening to my content. I don't know what the fuck why you waste your time? Go watch Andrew Tate. Go watch Jordan Peterson. Go watch Ben Shapiro. You'll love those guys. Those guys are angry all the time. You'll love them to death. I don't know why you're talking to me. What the fuck are you doing here? If you do want happiness, that means you don't want to have a relationship life where you're spending all this fucking time making sure that your woman, or God forbid, your women, if your fantasy is to have several women who only fuck you the rest of your life, making sure all these women behave like the robots they aren't, and they follow through on their promise to never fuck another guy. Have fun with that. That's a fucking nightmare. As I've said many times, I have better things to do. I have several companies. I'm working very hard to scale those companies. I have an international lifestyle. I have many women in my life. I love my family. I have to spend X amount of hours working out in the gym so I don't get super fat as I get older. I got other shit to worry about other than if this one girl maybe hooks up with this guy, maybe. And I talked about in the last podcast, the statistical probability of women who do this as they get older drops like a fucking stone. Yes, if you marry an 18-year-old, you're going to have a problem. She's going to want to fuck other dudes. If she's in her late 30s, 40s, 50s, she's not going to want to. She thinks it's gross. Women are not men. Okay, that's the next thing. So do you understand now where I'm going with this? Why would I possibly support a woman if she's allowed to fuck other guys? What's your alternative? I just gave you your alternative. Your alternative doesn't fucking work. The only way your alternative works, there's only 2 scenarios where your alternative, where I'll support her if she promises not to fuck other guy. There are only 2 scenarios where that can work, in quotes. The first scenario is if you are a hardcore, don't give a shit about happiness type of guy. You like arguing with women. You think screaming and yelling at women all the time is fine. And you don't care if you're not as happy as me. Fine. And I've already told you where you probably should go away. I don't know why you're here. That's one scenario. Okay. Second scenario is that if you are and this is very rare for guys, I would put maybe less than 2% of men are in this category. You like serial monogamy. You like breaking up with a woman every year or 2 and then getting a new one. But then why would you financially support a woman knowing she'll leave your life in 2 years when you get bored with her? Why would you do that? I guess if you had a lot of money, it might be okay. So if you like breaking up every 2 years and getting a new woman every 2 years, there's a percentage of men who are like that, then that, in quotes, could work. The other 98% of you, not going to work. And if you disagree with what I just said, in the comments or in my email, wherever you like, explain to me precisely what you're going to do and how you're going to offset all those statistics I just gave you in the Western world, in the modern era. You can't take a time machine back to 1954. Can't do that. You can convert to Hinduism and move to India and marry a virgin 18-year-old and live in India the rest of your life. Go ahead. I don't see you guys doing that, though. Interesting. All right. Next thing. That's for item 1. Item 2, there's 4 items. When I talked about how the 5 things last week that retain a woman the best with you, that reduce the odds that she will leave you, I talked about keeping attraction high. I talk about having kids with her if she wants kids, because if you don't, she'll leave and fuck a guy who wants to have kids with her. I also mentioned some level of financial support. Now that's a fact. If you give her some money, she's more likely to stay. If you marry a woman and say, I'm never going to give you any money, fuck you, bitch. You're going to pay all your own bills, but be my wife and be monogamous. That's not going to work. I don't care how feminist she is. I'm sorry, that won't. And if you don't believe me, go try it. I suggest some of you go try this. Go get a serious long-term live-in girlfriend or wife and say, I'm never giving you a penny as my girlfriend or wife. And tell me how that works in the real world, in the Western world, in the modern era. Okay. So what some of you said was, oh, you're giving them money. So this is like a sugar daddy thing. Well, anyone can do that. Great. When I discussed PDMs last week, all the parameters and how long it's lasted and how long it's going to last, great. If you think that's all that's involved, is just giving them a little money, let me pause there. Some of you are vastly overestimating the amount of money I'm giving these women. As I was very clear last week, these women all have their own income streams. They have their own incomes. They pay their own bills. I don't pay all their bills for them. Not even fucking close. Do they get some money from me? Yeah, not very much. You've seen the apartments I live in, how tiny they are. I don't own a car. I wear the same fucking shirts and all these videos. I don't spend a lot of money, and that includes my woman life. You think I'm suddenly, with my woman life, I've changed my mind on that? I'm shelling out thousands of dollars, these chicks? Not even fucking close. That would be, they'd probably like that. No, I'm not giving them a lot of money. So go try it yourself. If you just think the only thing I need to do is gives 3 women in different countries a little money and it'll all work great, go try that. Go do that. Just give them a little money and don't do anything else, because you said anyone can do that. Great. And tell me how long it lasts. Tell me if they get boyfriends and dump you while you're not there. Tell me how much drama you have or don't have. Show me that it lasts 10 years consistently. If that's all you think it is giving them a little money, that's the only component to success with this model, great. Go try that yourself and see how that works. If you think, oh, that's easy, anyone could do this, great, go ahead. Let's see, next one. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's 5 things I misnumbered. Okay. Second one. Number 3 or third one. Okay, here's the third one. Caleb, it really pisses me off when several of you said this, or variations of this. Caleb, man, it really pisses me off. First of all, why are you getting pissed off? Outcome independence is what I teach. You shouldn't be pissed off about anything I say. Really pisses me off when you say your girls don't fuck other guys. You're a fucking moron, Caleb. You don't know anything about women. These women are all banging other dudes left and right. It doesn't matter their personality. It doesn't matter how old they are. It doesn't matter anything. These chicks are totally fucking other guys. And a few of you said, and they're not using condoms. They're not using condoms. These guys are coming inside them all day long. And if for you to think, Caleb, you fucking moron, that these women are not fucking other men ever, you're crazy and you're insane. What the fuck? You know better than that, Caleb. I mean, Jesus Christ. Okay. A few things. First of all, this is nothing new. If these women are having tons of sex with other men when I'm not around, and they're not using condoms, so that would indicate a result of one or two things. They're going to get pregnant eventually, or they're going to get an STD and give me an STD, right? Boy, I'd be fucking stupid. What? I'm such a dumbass. That's just crazy. First thing, pregnancy. Dubai and Paraguay, both those countries, abortion is illegal. So it's not like the United States, where if a woman gets pregnant in the US or UK, she goes, okay, and she just goes down to the clinic the next day, pops an RU46 pill, has a really bad period, and then she's fine again. If you get pregnant in Paraguay or Dubai, where abortion is illegal, it's illegal in the country of Paraguay, it's illegal in the UAE, okay? I live in 2 right-wing countries, all right? Unlike you idiots who stay in the collapsing USA and cuckoo Canada and break down Britain and authoritarian Australia. Anyway, if any of my women were to get pregnant, they would not be able to hide it from me. And the reason for that is I've seen women go through this, not my women, I'm careful. I have seen women go through this in these 2 countries where they get pregnant. It's a real problem. They freak the fuck out. They've got to fly to some other country. They got to get a visa to that country. They got to figure out how to get an abortion in that country, or they have to find a black market guy and get a black market abortion. It's a real problem if a woman gets pregnant in Dubai or Paraguay, my 2 flags where these 2 women are, other than Pink Firefly. Okay? It's not like I wouldn't know. Now, in the United States, maybe. Dubai or Paraguay? No. If any of my women got pregnant, I would know. There's no way they could hide that from me. It's a traumatic, horrible experience. It's traumatic enough getting an abortion, but I mean, less so now than it was in the 80s. So you have that. Okay. Item one. Item two, STDs. And I've talked about this for 15 years. This is nothing new. Any woman who is in a serious relationship with me where I'm not wearing a condom with her is required to get regular STD tests. Now, I don't do this as an alpha male one pill. You will get STD tests. I say, hey, if you want to be with me, you need to get STD tests. And here's the procedure I'll discuss in a second. And I need to see them. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. But then I can't be serious with you, and or I got to wear a condom with you, and or I'm going to put you lower on the hierarchy. Because just like all men, I prefer sex without a condom than with condom. Okay. Now, as I've talked about for 15 years, the way it works is when a woman gets an STD test, a woman I'm not using condom on, she is required, if she wants to do this, to send me the original email with the original PDF attachment. She can't just send me the PDF because PDFs can be edited. Now, do I think any of my women have the ability, technical ability to edit a PDF? No, but according to you, they're fucking all these guys and they have secret boyfriends coming inside them all day. So if that were the case, maybe the boys could edit the PDF, right? If you're so scared about this. By the way, this isn't about sex. This is about protecting my physical health. I've talked about this. You can't threaten my physical health. You can do whatever you want. You can fuck all the men you want, but you can't threaten my physical health. Therefore, I need to see an STD test. All right. You are required to send me the email with the original PDF, or you give me the name and the password to the healthcare portal where I can log in as you and download the PDF and see it for myself and review it. I've been doing this for 15 years. These women have all been in my life for many, 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 many years. This isn't women I just met the other day and said, be my girlfriend, right? None of them have ever gotten pregnant. None of them ever got an STD. So far, what data we have, the evidence leans in my direction that they're not having sex with other men rather than your direction that they are having sex with other men without condoms. Is it still possible? Of course. But the evidence shows on my end, pretty good. Next piece of evidence. I've had sex with a lot of women over the past 17 years. I've had sex with women who haven't had sex with other men in like 6 months, a year. Without getting into TMI, hang on a second. Hang on. Some of you may know this. Some of you are more sexually experienced or been with more women. When you have sex with a woman who hasn't had sex with a man in a while, the pussy feels different. It does. It's tighter. It's drier. Sometimes women will bleed. It happens. Okay. When a woman doesn't have sex with a man for a long time, unless she's shoving giant dildos up her pussy, and women generally don't do this. I experience this with my women when I don't see them for like months at a time. This is relatively typical. So when I have sex with Pink Firefly next week, I'm looking very forward to it. Trust me, I'm going to have to be really careful. I can't just shove it in there like we've been having sex every day for a year. I'm going to have to be really, really careful, very gentle, which I hate, but I'll do it. I hate being jailed during sex, and there you go. Sometimes women bleed. Sometimes these things happen. More evidence that shows on my side of the column rather on your side of the column. Next thing. These are all women, as I stated, who have been in my life for a long, long, long time, years and years and years. I know these women very well. I know everything about their personal lives. It would be more difficult for them to lie to me because I know them so well. Is it possible they could lie to me? Of course. Anything in life is possible. It's the real world, of course. But I would be pretty stupid if I've been with a woman 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and she's lying to me constantly all the time, and I would have no idea. That would make me pretty dumb. Now, if she was lying to me and we just started dating for a month, that's different. Maybe I wouldn't know. These are women who have been in my life for a long, long, long time. And as I've talked about many times in the history of my past, when you take condoms off and things like that, you have to observe a woman and observe a long-term pattern of consistent adult behavior, not promises she makes. You guys that say, well, it's okay, I'll support a woman if she promises not to fuck it. You got to ignore what women say and only pay attention to what they do. I have entire articles on that concept. So I have that. So all the data that we have available to us points in the direction of they're probably not fucking any of the guys except me. Let's say I'm still wrong and I'm being a dumbass and none of that stuff matters. The pregnancy thing doesn't matter. The SD tests don't matter. The tight pussies and bleeding doesn't matter. The fact that you know them, Caleb, none of that matters. They still might be fucking a guy. That's okay. It's all right. It's allowed. They can't get boyfriends, but they're allowed to. If they really want to, they can. It's allowed. I'd prefer we discuss it, but it's allowed. Deep breaths, relax. It's okay. It's all right. There you go. Okay. Next item. Next thing. A few of you said this or implied this. This is bad. Some of you said or implied, oh, Caleb's not going to have FBs anymore. Awesome. I don't need to have FBs then. Great. Because I don't like FBs. Wrong, wrong, wrong. I've written entire articles about if you can't have FB relationships because you get hardcore feelings for any woman you put your dick inside, and there's a category of you like this, that is a problem you need to solve. It is not something you make excuses for. I have people in my close personal life, including one of my brothers. I have a brother who falls in love with any woman he fucks. And it's been a serious problem for him for 25 years. This is a problem. If you're not able to have sex that is not in a serious relationship, sex with a friend you don't want to date, if you don't have that ability, this is a problem that will cause unhappiness in your life over the rest of your life. You need to address it. You don't just say, well, that's just how I am. No, I don't care how you are. If I use the that's just how I am excuse, I would weigh 450 pounds right now because I have a sister who weighs that much who looks just like me. Well, that's just how I am. I like food and I have a slower metabolism. Fuck you, man. And yeah, no. You need to have the ability to have sex. I won't say meaningless sex because that's maybe too much. Sex with a friend you don't want to date and you enjoy it. Because some of you said, well, I can have sex with an FB, but I don't like it. And Caleb, you said that now you like sex if you like the woman. It's better if you like the woman. Yes, that's true now. First of all, that's now. As of age 48. So from 0 to 48, I loved sex, meaningless sex. It was fucking great. And I still like it. I said in the last live stream, I still have FBs. I've got them. Saw one a day. Still have them. They're slowly I'm slowly like phasing them out. I'm not going to just cut off the thing, right? I still love it. It's great. I just don't like it as much, but I still like it a lot. If you don't have the ability to have an FB relationship, you need to address it. Address it. Don't just say, oh, good, Caleb's doing this, so I can. What did I say 10,000 fucking times last week? This is a model for me, not a model for most of you. 95% of you should not do what I'm talking about. And that applies to not having FBs. That is a terrible, terrible idea. FBs is the greatest of all the relationship types in Alpha Male 2.0. FB, OLTR, MLTR, now PDM. FB is the best one because you can have them at any point in your life. They take the least amount of time. They take the least amount of effort. They take the least amount of money. They're amazing. I've had FBs for 17 years straight all over the planet. It's awesome. Every man should have several FBs. You should. Okay. Okay, hang on here. Next one. This is the last one. Last of these topics. I'm going to roll into something else that is related to all this. Hey, Caleb, does this violate your 6-week rule? Some of you brought that up. So if you don't know what the 6-week rule is, the 6-week rule is you have to have sex with at least 2 women every 6 weeks. Otherwise, if not, you are de facto monogamous. Okay? That's an Alpha Male 2.0 rule. Caleb, does that violate this rule? Potentially, yes. How do I offset that? A, I'm Caleb Jones. I've been doing this for 17 years. When you master the rules, you can bend the rules a little bit. I kind of know what I'm doing. That's why I said this is not for you. You need to adhere to the 6-week rule, period. I can manage this with the other women I'm having and all those. Now, I still have FBs, so I have not violated the 6-week rule yet with anybody. I haven't done that yet. At some point, possibly, sure. Now, but Caleb, isn't that like monogamy? No, it's not like monogamy because these women know there's 2 other wives in 2 other countries I'm fucking on a regular basis. Number one. Number two, these women all know I have backups to all these women. I have a Dubai backup woman. I have a Paraguay backup woman. And I have technically more than one, but in my mind, I have one each. And then I have a backup in the United States. Although the United States is less important because I don't go there very often. And these women all know this. These women are well aware. They're well aware. They've known me for years. I'm Caleb Jones. They know me quite well. If they say no to sex, guess what Caleb's going to do the next fucking day? They know this. They're aware of it. And I'm pretty good at managing drama and all that other stuff. Okay? Well, it sounds like monogamy. It's not. But I understand your concern, but that's why I said this is for me, not for you. You need to follow the 6-week rule. Until you have 10 years or so of non-monogamous experience where you're dating multiple women, it's great. Then you can start bending the rules, let's say 7 years. Then you can start bending the rules a little bit. And I've said that. I've said that not in my private coaching programs. Once you master the rules, you can bend them a little, not crazy. Don't get monogamous. That's stupid. Okay. All right. Now, let me segue into something else, which is related to this. The title of this podcast is Beta Males Doing Alpha Male 2.0 Things, or at least Alpha Male Things. Okay? Here's what I am starting to see with some alpha males, including ones in the Western world. I can give you several examples. I'll give you my favorite. This is a true story. This is literally how it happened. How are we doing on time here? Hang on a sec. Okay, we're doing good. All right. I come from a very large Italian, specifically Sicilian Catholic family. My mom has 8 brothers. She's one of 9 children. And all these brothers, just about all of them, had a lot of kids. So I have shitloads of cousins. I have over 30 cousins. Interestingly, I am also the oldest of all these 30 cousins, at least by a few months. That's why my 2 middle names are the names of both my grandparents, because I was the first of that generation to be born. And these cousins are all over the world. These are not people I hang out with and know very well. Some of them I a little bit. Hang on, I'll give me a drink of water here. These cousins, so I'm 52. These cousins range in age from the youngest one, or I think the youngest cousin I have is still in high school, crazily enough. And a lot of them in their 40s, a lot of them in their 30s, some in their 20s. There's a bunch of them. I know very little about most of them. My mom travels around the United States. She's retired now, and she visits all these extended family people because that's what old moms do. They visit their extended family. And she sat down with one of my cousins a few weeks ago, a while back. And this cousin, I only know him peripherally. I know him. Don't know him well. Nice guy. He's in his 40s, late 40s, I think. I think mid 40s. Recovering alcoholic. That's not really relevant, but interesting. Nice guy. Beta male. He is a beta. He is not an alpha male 1.0 at all. He's certainly not an alpha male 2.0 at all. He is a 100% pure beta. Now, as I've talked about, beta is a range. There's extreme total pussy betas, and there's kind of confident betas, but there's still betas. Confident beta would be like, let's use some celebrity examples. Confident beta would be like Kevin Smith, Destiny, more confident betas, but they're still betas from hell, okay? He's a beta male. Not a complete total beta, but he's kind of in the middle, right? Here's what happened. He was married, and he has 2 kids, okay? This was about 2 years ago, I think. One day, he wakes up and looks at his wife and says to her, you know, you're a good mom to our children, but as a wife, you fucking suck. Matter of fact, you're kind of a cunt, and you're making me miserable, and I'm very unhappy. And so I'm leaving. And she's like, what? Like, yeah, I'm leaving. And he gets up and he gets his little suitcase out and starts packing his shit. And she's like, what the hell? I'm like, yeah, I'm leaving. I'm done. Yeah. You're a bitch. You're a cunt. And you scream at me all the time. And we never have sex. And you're a good mom. I'll give you that one. Okay, I'll give you that. I love my children, but you're a nightmare from hell. So I'm leaving. I'm leaving you. Bye. And she does what all married women do when they go through a separation or divorce, Western women. She starts screaming, oh, how dare you? I'm going to take your kids. I'm going to take you to court. You'll never see your fucking kids ever again. I'm going to take half your money. I'm going to take your house. And I'm going to take this. And I'm going to take your retirement. And he goes, yeah, okay. And just walks out. Awesome. Fantastic outcome independent framing. Great Alpha 2.0 framing. He's not an Alpha 2.0. He's not. Trust me, he's not. But he did what statistically a lot of men can't do. Statistically speaking, 80% of all divorces are initiated by the female. 75% of all girlfriend-boyfriend relationships are initiated by the woman. So statistically speaking, men don't leave women because they don't like it. Men are pussies. They get one-itis, including Alpha male 1.0s. Women are the ones who leave. Women leave, men cheat. But men don't leave. But he was able to, just like I was able to, and when I was 31, leave his bitch wife. Good for him. And she's still screaming at him. He's like, yeah, okay. All right. And just gets his car and drives away. So he gets some little shithole apartment. He has a moderate income. He's not a rich guy. Works, I think, in the tech sector, I think. Oh, by the way, he lives in California. So he'll get fucking raped in the divorce. Anyway, he didn't care. He's like, I'm not happy. So he gets this little shithole apartment, not shithole, but a little tiny apartment, similar to what I have here. And, he lives on his own for a little bit and just ignores his wife screaming at him, just hangs up the phone on her, just doesn't dick with her drama. Good for him. And he's a man, so he gets horny. So he starts having sex with this woman at his work. I don't remember where he met this woman. It was through his social circle. Someone he already knew, or someone who knew, acquaintance he knew, or someone who's at work, or starts dating this chick, okay? Who's also about his age. He's in his mid-40s. His wife's in his mid-40s. This woman's in her 40s. And he's a beta male. So he starts dating her, and as soon as they have sex twice, like I just talked about a minute ago, he immediately falls in love with her and immediately gets one-itis and says, oh my God, I love you. Be my girlfriend. Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, now she's in her 40s. So she is what? A provider hunter. So she's like, oh, perfect. This is great. A boyfriend. Yeah, thank God. Because women hate dating in their 40s. That's why they didn't date. He met her through he didn't go on Tinder or anything. He doesn't have that ability to go on online dating and make that work. He's a beta. So he says, so they're boyfriend and girlfriend. He goes, oh, by the way, I'm married. And she's like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm married. And so she assumes, oh, okay. She goes, okay. Oh, so you're clearly separated from her. So you're in the process of getting divorced from your wife because you're separate. Obviously, you don't live with her. You live in your apartment. So you're going through a divorce, right? He goes, no. And she's like, what? He's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to divorce her. She's like, excuse me? She's like, yeah, she's a cunt, but she's a really good mom. Really good mom. And she's a good mom to my kids. I love my kids. And her and I get along pretty well now. Now that I don't live with her, we're getting along pretty good. So I'm never going to divorce her. I'm just going to live separately from her and we'll just stay married. And his girlfriend's like, what? And then, typical woman, she starts screaming, oh, what the fuck? How? You can't disrespect me like that. This isn't a relation. You can't be married to me and date me. What the fuck are you doing? He's like, okay, I'm sorry I feel that way. Bye. And he gets up and leaves. Soft next. He just gets up and she's like, what? Because again, soft necks are amazing. Women aren't used to this. Women aren't used to men leaving because they can't. They get one-itis and they have to stay there and just keep screaming at the bitch instead of just leaving, which raises attraction. I talked about this 10,000 times. It's like, okay, great. And he gets his coat and he starts walking out. She's like, what? Well, wait. This was all about 2 years ago. He is still dating his girlfriend, fucking his girlfriend. He is still married to his wife. They don't live there. And occasionally he fucks his wife. He has a wife and a girlfriend, both of whom he fucks. Now, he doesn't fuck the wife very often, is my understanding, but he does. They hook up. The wife is not dating anyone else. She's in her 40s. She doesn't want to do that shit. The girlfriend isn't dating anyone else. She's in her 40s, high SD. Doesn't want to. And the wife and the girlfriend just fucking put up with it. And this is, to repeat, this is a beta male. He is not good looking. He's not ugly, but he's not a good looking man. He is not wealthy. He's not a millionaire. He doesn't make a shitload of money. Normal income guy. And he's able to pull off these alpha 2.0 models just by raising his outcome independence a little bit. Now, to be clear, he's not, I forgot to mention the most important part. He has no idea about any of my content. He knows he has a cousin named Caleb Jones. I've met him a few times. He is not familiar with my content. He's never watched any of my content. He has no idea I even talk about this. This is all shit he did on his own, which is impressive. Now, because he's not following any of the alpha male 2.0 models, he has a lot of drama. These women bitch at him and they argue and they scream and they yell and he puts up with it because he's a beta. He says, I'm sorry, honey. And he's still a beta. It's still a beta male vibe, but he has a girlfriend and a wife. He told my mom all about this. And my mom is just like, Caleb will love this story. And I did. So here's a question. Did this guy have to read 17 books on how to be a red pill? And did he have to read The Unchained Man, which you should read? Did he have to read No More Mr. Nice Guy? Did he have to spend 10 years trying to figure out how to alpha male up? No. He just fucking had enough one day and said, I'm out of here. How was he able to do this? Two things. One, he did not have one-itis for either one of these women. Now, he kind of did. I should back up. He didn't have extreme one-itis, because if he had one-itis for his wife, as soon as she said, I'm going to take half your money and take your kids, he would have been like most men. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, well, fine. I'll stay. That's what most beta male husbands do. Right? Right. Some of you are in that category, sadly. You need to fix yourself. If he had hardcore one-itis for his girlfriend, when she said, I'm going to break up with you, I'm never going to see you again, you're never going to fuck me again, how dare you? Like, oh, shit, okay, I'm so, okay. Well, maybe I misspoke. Well, maybe I should get divorced. Well, I'm sorry. I mean, look, I'm really sorry. He didn't do any of that. He had one-itis, but not enough for him to put up with the bullshit. So he combined that with number two, outcome independence, not giving a shit about what happens. By the way, two things. One is when you have outcome independence, you can pull off amazing things in your life like he did. Number two, as I've said 10,000 times in my books and my blogs, outcome independence is the number one most attractive quality that attracts women that is non-physical for men. The number one male aspect that is the most attractive to women that is not physical is when you don't give a shit. When you're on a first date or second date with a gorgeous woman and she can tell you don't give a fuck if you ever see her again, you're nice and polite. You're not an asshole, because that doesn't work either. It works with the younger girls, some of them. Oh, that doesn't work. You're nice and polite, but so you're nice and polite, but she can tell you don't give a fuck about her, a fuck about her beauty. You don't give a fuck if you ever see her again. She can see it in your attitude, in your body language, the things you say, the things you don't say, the things you don't promise. She will be turned on and she won't even know why, because you're outcome independent. These two women, I would bet money, I'd bet $10,000. These two women are super attracted to this guy. They worship this fucker. They yell and scream at him because he's a pussy, but they're super attracted because he doesn't give a fuck. Unlike most of you in relationships where you're like, oh my God, I hope my wife doesn't leave me. I hope my girlfriend doesn't leave me. Well, Caleb, I can't do that. My wife might not let me. Caleb, I can't do that. My girlfriend might break up with me. Total outcome dependent and absolute one-itis. That's all he did. He didn't spend 10 years of self-improvement trying to, experiment with different models and I got to read Rollo's book a third time. And no, he just said, I'm doing this. Fuck this. I'm out. And both times when women were screaming and yelling and threatening him, he said, okay. And he just walked out of there. Do you understand the power that you have over women and your life when you have the ability to, when a woman you're fucking who you really like is screaming at you, or she doesn't be screaming at you, doing anything you don't like, okay? Is my hair sticking back up? I touch this thing and it makes my hair stick up like Donald Duck. The power you have when you just say, as they're doing something you don't like, you go, okay, bye, and you just leave and you don't come back. You come back in a few days, soft next. Do you understand the power you have over women When you have that ability, and do you understand why so few men in society, including alpha male 1.0s, do not have that power? Because they can't do it. They're too scared about what she might or might not do. What if she breaks up with me? And what if she sues me? Well, but I may never see my kids again. I'm going to repeat that. Alpha male 1.0s have the same problem because, as I've talked about many times in my books and my blogs, alpha male 1.0s not only get one-itis. When they get one-itis for a woman, it's hardcore one-itis, worse than when a beta male gets one-itis. Why is that? Because a beta male spends his entire life in some sort of one-itis. Either he's a total incel and he hates women, or he always has one-itis for somebody. Whether or not it's requited. I mean, I was a beta male in high school. There was a girl I really liked for 3 years. Total one-itis for this girl. Never had sex with her. I think I went on one date with her. Let's see. Yeah, I did. Never had sex with her. And because I had one-itis for her, there were other women I could have hooked up with that I didn't in high school because I had one-itis, because I was a beta. So it starts when you're like 13. So the typical beta male has had one-itis off and on for damn near 20, 25, 35 years, his whole life. So beta males are accustomed to one-itis. When an alpha male 1.0 gets one-itis, it's new and it's different. And it just smacks him in the face like he's never felt anything before. This woman is so amazing. I have seen so many alpha male 1.0s, players, pickup artists, red pill guys, alpha male 1.0s. When they get one-itis, they are so pathetic. They're worse than beta males. This is the most amazing woman. Caleb, you don't understand. I fucked 87 girls and this is the best one. Oh my God. It's awful. Then they get monogamous. And then it blows up their face because long-term monogamy doesn't work, but they don't care. They're making excuses about, why would I financially support a woman if she's allowed to fuck other guys? Something like that, okay? All you have to do is have the ability to say, okay, great, and then leave. There's a reason why I've been with the number of women I've been with. There's a reason why I have a 94% return rate. There are reasons for these things. Is it because I'm super good looking and I have six-pack abs? Nope. Is it because I drive a Lamborghini? Nope. I'm overweight. I don't own a car. When I had a car, I had a nice car a few years ago, but I was already married to Pink Firefly. Back in the day, drove an 8-year-old Nissan. Was it because I was really rich and spent a lot of money? I make good money, but you've seen the places I live. I've talked about this many times. So I was seeing the most amount of women. I lived in right after my divorce, I lived in an apartment with no furniture and the mattress in the back. After that, I lived in a house. I've talked about this many times. I remember this house on a cul-de-sac, and my yard was 3 or 4 feet tall of grass. Looked like no one lived there. And it was trashy. And the next door neighbors was like a bunch of 20 people, 20 Mexicans in one house. And then women would come in. I had no furniture, nothing on the walls. I'd have hand-me-down furniture from my parents. And they're like, did you just move here? Like, no, I'm here 3 years. Is it because of that? No. One of the biggest reasons I maintain attraction with women. Why is Pink Firefly still with me when I haven't seen her in 4 months? And she's hot. She can snap her fingers and divorce me and find any other guy right now. Why doesn't she do that? All these reasons. There are several. One of the biggest ones is I'm outcome independent. I don't give a fuck what these women do. And they know it. And it drives attraction up, not down. Even if they're complaining about it. So to be clear, these two women do bitch and moan to this guy. But as I've talked about in my blogs, my books, when they're bitching about something because you're not doing what they want, they look angry, and they are, but they're also attracted at the same time. The beta male and the alpha male 1.0, when he gets one-itis, agrees to all of her bullshit. Agrees to monogamy, agrees to this, agrees to that. She goes, good. And she smiles, and he thinks, oh, she's happy. Oh, good, I got her. And her attraction just dropped 40%. Can't tell in her face because she's smiling, because you're obeying what do they call it, red pill? The female imperative, the feminine imperative. You're obeying the model, the female model of being a gentleman and a beta male and all that stuff. All you have to do, man, is some outcome independence, the ability to get up and say, okay, great, and leave. He didn't argue with these chicks when he went through this process. He does now. He didn't say, no, you're not going to do. That's another thing. Some of you guys, if she says, I'm going to take your kids, you say, what do you say? What does your reactivity say to you? Your obsolete biological organ says, you take my kids, you fucking bitch, I'm going to take. And now you have drama, and now you have conflict, and now her attraction drops again. and you think you got her, and now she fucking hates you, and you will lose your kids. That's it. I'm seeing more and more scenarios like this with a small percentage of betas who are engaging in alpha male behaviors because they just, I don't know. I mean, I could talk this. I have not talked to this cousin. This is all from my mom. Okay. It could be that he just snapped one day. That happens sometimes. Usually it's women who snap, not men. And they wake up and say, oh, fuck this guy. And they divorce him. That's very common with women. I just talked to someone in my personal life about that who was married. No, it's not someone I'm seeing. Anyway, so maybe he just snapped one morning and said, oh, you know, I've had enough. The problem is most men never get to that point. Even I, in my first marriage, my monogamous marriage that was not good. The first 2 or 3 years were pretty good, but the latter 6 were pretty shitty. That marriage, I should have divorced her within 2 years instead of 9. So even I waited way too long because it's so difficult for men to leave. If you just jack that outcome independence up 25% and jack down that one-itis you have by maybe another 25%, you can pull off some amazing shit, and you can do it right now. How long did it take for him to do this? 10 seconds. He just woke up one morning and said, fuck you, bitch, I'm leaving. Took him 10 seconds. 5 minutes. That was it. He didn't go through a bunch of soul searching, and he just said, you know, fuck this. He didn't read 16 books. He didn't talk about it. He didn't any stuff. My mom asked him. He's like, no, I just did it. And to this day, he still tells his girlfriend, I'm never divorcing my wife. And he tells his wife, oh, I didn't mention this part. His wife's like, you have a girlfriend? Well, fine. Like, yeah, I have a girlfriend. What? He's like, all right, bye. So he tells us, yeah, I have a girlfriend. I love her. Long-term girlfriend. You don't like it? Fuck off. And then he fucks his wife. Why are these women putting up with this? Because they're attracted, because he doesn't give a fuck. He's a beta. But he's a beta with some alchemy independence. Good for him. Now, if he were sitting right here, I'd be like, bro, let's sit down and redo this. Okay, you're dealing with way too much drama. Let's clean this shit up. Topic for another time, I could do that. But you see my point? It's also the realization of what I said earlier about these statistical probabilities of divorce, cheating, monitoring women. By the way, do you think he goes to these women? He's a beta. He doesn't do this. You think he does? He turns into Andrew Tate and says, hey, man, listen, wife and girlfriend, you better not fuck other women. Because listen, wife, I still financially support you. So you better not do that. And no, he doesn't care. He's too busy living a great life and fucking all these women with a girlfriend and a wife. He's living the fantasy. He said something like, you know, oh, my friends think I'm just living the dream. And he goes, yeah, I kind of am. Now, he could be a much better dream. He followed my materials, but whatever. Not that hard. It's not. You know what it is, or part of it, is making the decision. So I'll end with this. This is really important. This really took me years to figure out and internalize. And I still don't have it 100% internalized. But I'm pretty good. Robert Downey Jr., back when he was doing all the drugs, he was on a show, an interview show. I think it was, it might have been Oprah. I don't remember. Yeah, it might have been Oprah. Hang on. The interviewer, who I think was Oprah, but maybe not, said, this is when he finally got off the drugs. If you don't know his history, Robert Downey Jr. was on drugs for 15 years. He would go to prison and then get back out, and the judge said, don't do any drugs. He's okay, I won't. He would do more drugs, go back to prison, back and forth and back. It was a mess. He was a fucking mess. And finally, he got off the drugs. And so the interviewer said, I mean, tell me how hard that was to finally get off that drugs. I mean, that must have been really hard. He said something really interesting that really has internalized. I mean, I've thought about this for years. He said, actually, hang on. That's a cliffhanger. Hang on a second. Check the technology here. He said, getting off drugs is easy. And she's like, what? Like, yeah, getting off drugs is super easy. That's easy to get off drugs. And she's like, looking at him like he's crazy. And he goes, you know what's hard? Making the decision to get off drugs. That's hard. That's really hard. But once you make the decision, you're off. He's exactly right. I have seen smokers, cigarette smokers. I've seen some cigarette smokers, they try to quit, and they go back, and they try to quit, they go back, and they try to quit, and they go back. Remember? I've seen other cigarette smokers who are like, that's it, I'm fucking done. They take their cigarette pack, they throw it in the trash, and they never touch cigarette ever again. What's the difference? Because the second group made a decision. The first one just said, I shouldn't smoke cigarettes. That's not good. That's not a decision. You have to make a decision. If you're in a shitty relationship, monogamous relationship, you want to open up, you need to make the decision to change. You can either divorce her / break up, or you can get one of my conversion courses, store.calebjones.com, one of my conversion books. You can convert the relationship from monogamous to open. Your odds of success are at least 70% if you've been a good husband or boyfriend. You know what? They're actually a little higher than that. It's higher than 70%. I don't have an exact number, but it's higher than 70%. Maybe it's 80. Your odds are really good if you're outcome independent. Or if you're not getting laid at all, you got to make a decision. You're like, man, I'm tired of jerking off the porn. That's not a decision. It's not a decision. 2007, when I got my divorce, I made a decision about my woman life, my sex life, my day life for the rest of my life. I'm going to date multiple women. They need to be all 8s, 9s, or 10s, or I'm not going to go there. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, I made a fucking decision, and it was do or die. I made a decision several times with my financial life and my businesses. I think it's a fucking decision. It's not like, yeah, I really want to do this, and damn, this is hard. No, you have to make a decision. You either make a decision to one-itis down and outcome independence up. And you can do shit like my cousin, who is not an alpha male, not even fucking close. He has maybe one alpha male 2.0 trait of outcome independence to a degree. I wouldn't put up with his drama, but compared to the average beta male, he's a king. And he just did one thing. Okay. All right. Your questions. Hang on. Scrolling up for the questions. What are some suggestion for fiction books that have Alpha 2.0 or Alpha 2.0 like characters? I know Corwin of Amber. That's a difficult question. I don't have an easy answer to that question. Alpha Male 2.0 is not something in literature you see often. In The Unchained Man, I list several movies you can watch. So the one that comes to mind for movies is the movie Lockup or Lockout. God damn, I keep forgetting the name. It's with Guy Pearce. It's a science fiction action movie. And the movie's okay. He has to go rescue a chick at a space station. It's Lockup or Lockout. Lockout, maybe? Pure Alpha 2.0 character. I also like Guy Pearce. He's a great actor. Why do you think women have a hard time seeing the good in someone after they did something bad as compared to men? Men usually give people the benefit of the doubt. Example, cheating. Because men are more needy than women. Women are the sexual choosers. They don't need to put up with your crap. Men need to put up with women's crap because they don't want to leave. That's why. Any health energy chips for the rare days you don't get optimal sleep? Not much you can do on that. Exercise. Exercise hardcore. Take frequent breaks. That's all you can do. And then wait. I just finished your Unchained Man book. You quoted Tim Dillon. His rants are hilarious and insightful. Is he someone we should follow, or did he just happen to talk about Western collapse? It's up to you if you want to follow him. Listen to one of his podcasts. If you like him, follow him. As a guy of great wisdom, no, but as someone who's funny, he understands the Western world is collapsing, and he doesn't make any bullshit about that. That's what I like about him. I don't agree with everything he says, but yeah, he's funny. Love him. Is 47 years old too late to begin an Alpha 2.0 lifestyle? There is no Alpha Male 2.0 for work for any men under the age of 80. So are you under 80? Yes, then it's not too late. You can be 70 and it's not too late. I have guys who started when they were 70 and made it work and started banging chicks and location of pet, all that stuff. Yeah. How do you stop living in your head and start actually living for real? You just force yourself to do it. There's no trick. You used to use willpower it out and force yourself to do it a few minutes a day or an hour a day. Is it easy to get an MLTR as a black guy in the Philippines, or do women just want to sleep with you as an experiment? No, I've heard of black guys getting laid in the Philippines. My Filipino girlfriend before Pink Firefly loved black guys, dude. So no, you absolutely could. The problem you'll have is if you get serious, these women can't tell their dads that you're black. That's the challenge. But that doesn't mean you can't have a relationship. It's just going to be complicated on her end. And when did she tell her dad about, I'm fucking a black guy? That's the problem. That's with all Asian cultures. The last thing an Asian dad wants to hear is his daughter's fucking a black guy because Asians are racist. Like, how do you stop overthinking, overanalyze everything, and just do stuff? Force yourself an hour a day, 45 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day. Set a timer and force yourself. Force yourself. Is happiness subjective and up to the individual person? No, that's a myth. For example, some may be happy having a job and others may never be happy with that. What makes you happy is subjective, but happiness is not subjective. Are some people happy having a job? Sure. Now, that's happiness isn't the only factor. Is having a job in the collapsing Western world a good idea long term? No, it's a terrible idea. But sure. I don't have an editor as I wrote it myself. Should I use the same proofreader or hire a second one to get a perspective? You should use two proofreaders. How do you rationally disassemble the argument of those who claim that happiness doesn't matter and that what truly matters is one capability and usefulness, e.g. David Goggins and Tate? That's a philosophy. And so in terms of philosophy, there's no right or wrong answer. The question is, what philosophy works for you? If you're a hardcore Christian guy and you have a big temper, maybe not being happy is okay with you. Now, I would jump off a fucking bridge if I were Andrew Tate. I would, David Goggins too. A lot of unhappiness there. But you need to ask yourself, do I want to be happy long-term? Is that as me, as my individual, as me, Joe Blow, whatever your name is, do I want to be long-term happy? Knowing I have to do some weird shit that might look a little weird to achieve that long-term happiness. Or do I want to be more, I want to do this because it's in the Bible, and if I'm not happy, that's the way it goes. Which one do I want? And make your own decision. I know what my decision is. I want to be happy. And here's the thing. You can make a lot of money and get laid a lot and still be happy. That's me. That's Alpha Male 2.0. It's not like, making a lot of money and banging a lot of shit are only for men who are unhappy. Their arguments are quite compelling and their success speaks for themselves. Yes, you can be unhappy and be successful. Elon Musk can't wait to die. He's one of the most successful men in human history. Is he happy? No. Happiness and success are two different things. You can be extremely successful and be fucking miserable. I know many men like this. So it's nothing to do with it. These are not correlating factors. They argue that life isn't about happiness, but rather about raising one's value in society, whereas happiness tends to lead you to a meaningless path of hedonism. Okay, look at me. I'm happy. I'm one of the happiest men on earth. Do I live a life of hedonism? Am I drinking alcohol all day and doing drugs all day and getting fat and banging hookers all day? Do you see me doing that stuff? So there you go. I've proven you can be super happy and not be a hedonist. Jealousy is an outward expression of deep inner cognitive dissonance in your mind and is an uncontrollable thing. There are techniques you can utilize. Unchained Man has techniques on anti-jealousy techniques, as does the Ultimate Open Relationships Man. You can use those. Jealousy is something you can improve. Now, if you have a really jealous personality, you'll never get to 0, but you could take it from 95% down to 22%. That's worth doing. Would you say you are a nice guy? Yes, I am generally a nice guy, objectively. Meet me in real life, I'm pretty nice. Women would not stick around for years and years and years if I was an a-hole. Does your PDM model... Okay, I already answered that question. Hello, Caleb, I'm familiar with the work, but you never talk about love. I've said many times how much I love my wife, Pink Firefly, and how I love her more than I've ever loved a woman. I have talked about that. I don't focus a lot of time on that because men don't want to hear about love. That's not a topic that men are excited about. That's more of a chick topic. But yes, I have mentioned it. How did you make your new PDMs fall in love with you, and how long did it take for them to get feelings for you? Depends on each one. The Dubai one had feelings for me before I had feelings for her. I didn't know that because women are careful when they say I love you. With the Paraguay one, it was about the same time. How did I get them to fall in love with me? The cardinal rules. You can look that up on my Alpha Male YouTube channel or read it in my book. There's about 9 rules. You do that, women will fall in love with you. How important is having a community and a social circle of friends for success in dating women? It's not important at all. I don't have any of that. How do I convince a guy that is showing up to his ex house or workplace this isn't in his best interest, unannounced? When a man is that far gone, there's nothing you can do. You say, hey, man, you shouldn't do that. You'll have problems. And they go, and you'll just keep doing it. He's not in a state where he can control his behavior right now, unfortunately. So there's not much you can do about that. You said before that your social life is 0 and you're too busy smashing chicks to have friends. I'm paraphrasing. That's not accurate. I'm too busy working. I don't spend a lot of time smashing chicks. I'm 52. I'm working. I'm working and scaling several companies. That's where I'm spending too much time doing. And traveling. And there's chicks in there too, yeah. Do you really not spend time with friends? Correct. I'm an introvert. If you're not an introvert, don't do that. If you're an extrovert, please have friends. Is a longing to have a strong friend group irrational and unfounded? And of course, absolutely not. Having friends is normal and human. If you want to have friends, please have friends. Not everyone is a robot INTJ like me. Some of you are. A lot of you are. A lot of you aren't. If you want to have friends, please have friends. You'll be fucking miserable if you want friends that have no friends. You'll be miserable. You have to have friends if you want them. I don't need them. I'm not like you. What do you do if a woman you're seeing agrees to an OLTR but wants a don't ask, don't tell policy when engaging with friends, family, and acquaintances? How do you go about doing this without lying or heavily deceiving people? First of all, that is acceptable. I know some OLTR couples who do something like that. Like, don't fucking tell my family anything. Fine. Now, the way you do it to not deceive is you say, okay, I won't tell your mom or my mom, but if I'm directly asked, I'm not going to lie. That's how I handle those scenarios. If a woman says, please don't tell these people this about us, which is rare for me, by the way. Pink Fireflies never told me that, but some women will, sure. Great, I won't tell them. But if your mom or your dad or my dad or my brother or your sister directly asks me, do you guys have an open relationship where you can fuck other women? I'm not going to lie. Now, I might say, hey, not lying doesn't mean, yes, we do. Not lying could be, you know what? I'm really not supposed to talk about that. You really should ask Susie about that. Something like that. But I'm not going to deny it. That's how you do it. Do a lot of Alpha Male 1.0s turn into betas? As they age, yes, that was my dad. So as Alpha Male 1.0s age, if they don't take care of their testosterone, most of them don't. If they don't keep up with their fitness, most of them don't. If they get monogamous, most of them eventually do. They become betas. Yes, that's very normal. My dad is in his 80s. He's a big fucking beta now. And he doesn't consider that an insult. He considers like, yeah, I'm a beta. But when in his day, when he was, in his 30s or 40s, he was a mild Alpha Male 1.0. Seems like some of them, especially from Indian, African cultured, have a beta outlook to mind and mindset. Okay. When should you show emotion as a man? When and when not? Whenever you want. That's up to you. There's no right or wrong answer to that question. What's the primary reasons people like Obama? What's the primary reasons people like Obama when he was running for president in 2008? Change. They were sick of. It's the same fucking reason that Donald Trump 4 years ago, because they were sick of the prior guy. Donald Trump got elected in 2016 because they were sick of the bullshit from Obama. Obama got elected because they were sick of George W. Bush. Biden won in 2020 because they were sick of Trump. You guys forget this, how quickly you forget. People fucking hated Trump in 2020. They couldn't stand Americans. They couldn't stand it. And now they're sick of Biden, so they go back to Trump. They're insane. But that's the main reason why. They get sick of the prior guy, so they bring in the other political party guy. That he makes it fucking even worse. Then they get sick of him, and they just go back and forth, and the collapse of America continues. I'm 6'4", 195 pounds, 21 years old. You are a tall 21-year-old. Holy fuck. And decent looking. You were saying tall guys should be more beta. A little more beta. A little more beta. Not much. Yes, a little bit because you're intimidating. Yes. Please be specific. Do I less sex talk or what? It's hard for me to be specific because I have to watch you on a first date, and I haven't done that. You can't be a tough guy. You can't be super alpha guy. You can't do that. You got to soften it up a little bit. Sex talk is okay. Just soften your approach about 20%. Try that. Now, You're 21. Odds are, I don't say this as an insult, you're probably already a beta. So you probably have to do very much because you're 21. Rare to find 21-year-old alpha males. They're out there, but they're pretty rare, especially in your generation, pretty rare. So my guess is you're probably already a beta, so you probably don't need to do very much. How did you react to the scandal with Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky? Was it like Trump and Daniels? Trump and Daniels? Who's Daniel? It should be called the Oral Office, not the Oval Office. I did a big thing about that where I compared Bill Clinton in 1998 to Arnold Schwarzenegger in 2002. Bill Clinton was in a sex scandal, and he lied to everyone. He lied to his cabinet. He lied to his staff. I didn't touch her. These Republicans are making all this shit up about me. Total lie, because Bill Clinton is a psychotic piece of shit. Just a few years later, when Donald Trump was running for governor, he got in a big sex scandal. Worse than Bill Clinton's, frankly. The stuff Arnold Schwarzenegger was worse than Bill Clinton, honestly. What did Arnold do? Did he say, I didn't do this, they're making this up? He said, he got up on stage. You can watch on YouTube. He got up on stage, all these people, all these reporters ready to kick his ass because he's a Republican, so they all hated him. And he said, all of these accusations are 100% true. I did it all of it. I am guilty of all of it. And to those women, I say, I deeply apologize. Next question. And all the reporters who were to kick his ass go, oh, shit. Fuck. They had nothing to say. Whereas when Bill Clinton said, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, all the reporters said, oh, we're going to get this son of a bitch. We're going to see if he's lying to us. Stupid. Is it acceptable to cry? You keep asking the same question about emotion. Yes. Cry if you want. What about in public like Jordan Peterson? Cry whenever you want to cry. I don't cry. I've cried 5 times in my adult life because that's my personality, because I'm an INTJ robot. Nebuchadnezzar, too, you sound very emotional with these questions. Great. I don't think you should cry all the time. I think there's something wrong with men who cry all the goddamn time. There's some of you fuckers who are pussies who are crying all the goddamn time. I think that's a problem. But every once in a while, sure. What's the concept of LMS for attracting women? How important is status? Do you consider it the most important? What do you consider the most important of the 3? Read The Unchained Man, chapter 22, I think. I talk about that entire thing in great detail. Read that book. I have a whole chapter on LMS. Why did you decide you'll never live with a woman full-time again? Because my life is 2 reasons that are mashed together. Number 1, I have 0 tolerance for any drama from a woman, period. I'm an extremist on this. Most men tolerate all kinds of crap and drama and arguing and complaining from their women. I don't, because I want to be, say it with me, happy. So that means a woman can't give me any drama. 2 or 3 times a year, if I live with you, you can give me drama. Out of that, I'm out. More than that, I'm out. Well, that's unreasonable. No, it's not. Pink Firefly did it for 10 years. However, there's a second parameter in my life. I live a highly complicated lifestyle that most of you don't live. A, I'm non-monogamous. I'm banging other chicks all the time. B, I live 5 flags. I moved out of the United States. That's tough on a lot of women. C, I travel around the world in multiple homes and stuff. So for me to live a crazy 5 flags lifestyle while being a workaholic, while being non-monogamous, to have on top of all that, to have the expectation you could never give me drama, I don't think that's fair to a woman. I think it's fair to her. So therefore, if I choose to live this life, because I do, because I made a decision, I say it in my book, my mission is more important than any one woman. My happiness is more important than any one woman. Love Pink Firefly to death. Because I made the decision, that's why I said I shouldn't live full time with a woman. 2 or 3 days a week, sure. I like living with women who I like. But my life is too complex. That's why. Too complex, and with the parameter, I don't want any drama. What were your main influence sources for planning and tracking methods? There's so many over the years. I've read many books on time management. I'm a time management consultant. Too many lists. Okay, hang on a second here. Lost my place. Where are we here? It seems like Gen Z women are doing what red pill guys are doing, wishing for 1950s days while still acting like feminists, similar to red pill guys who want to go back in time to be players. True. When you're an extremist right-winger or extremist left-winger, they come around and meet. So that's why pop culture now is dominated by the extreme left, and sex has been removed from movies. Well, that doesn't make sense. The left likes sex and nudity and the normal left. But when they get extreme left, they turn into right wingers. Because that's what you'd expect if the right took over, right? So that's why this happens. When you go extreme left or extreme right, people on the extreme right, the extreme authoritarian right, like Richard Spencer and those guys, they love universal basic income. They love government paying for your health care. They don't want freedom of speech. Richard Spencer, Vox, these extreme right wingers, they think freedom. Fox Day, I looked at his blog about a year ago, checked in on him, poor bastard. And he was talking about how free speech is the work of Satan. And he was not kidding. So that's what happens. That's why. You mentioned Indians have the worst SP regarding gender relations. Can you elaborate? Go read the article, how dating advice for Indian men at my blog. Why was Bill Clinton considered the first black president? Because people are stupid. Caleb, would you say some level of narcissism is actually an asset? No, but I would say that lack of empathy is an asset. I lack a lot of empathy, and it's helped me a lot. It's great. Narcissism, I don't think so. You saying narcissism makes you more confident? Maybe, I don't know. Seems like a lot of high achievers in the world have some sort of it. Okay, Nebuchadnezzar 2, you're being illicit with all your questions. You're way overthinking things, which is what I think you asked. Stop asking all these mental masturbation questions and get to work, okay? No more of these crazy emotional. What about these guys, Caleb? Focus on your life and get to work. What the hell, man? I'm stupid. I found myself in a de facto monogamous relationship. Yeah, that was fucking stupid. Good job. After ending a monogamous relationship, and I promised never again. Why the hell am I doing this? You're needy. You're needy. You're needy and you're a pussy. So you need to ask yourself, stand in the mirror and ask yourself, look yourself in the eye. Why am I doing this? I don't know. Okay, well, if I did know, why do I think? Obviously I'm doing this for some reason. What's the reason? I need to dig into your own brain and find out what the fuck is wrong with you. Something's wrong with you. It could be something major from your childhood. It could be something minor. You need to find out what that is. You ask yourself and you ask. You ask some hard questions. You know, I had to go through a similar process to talk about the books back in my early 30s. I had to say, why am I living this life? Why did I choose to live this fucked up life that I hate? What the fuck is wrong with me? It's not my wife's fault. It's not my kid's fault. It's not my client's fault. Not my company's fault. It's not left-wingers' fault or right-wingers' fault. It's my fault. So why did I do this? And I had to ask myself some hard questions. Everything in your life is your fault. How do you get all these blood metrics that you mentioned, you tracked? Usually doctors don't check hormones. There's about 3 different websites in the United States. Just Google blood tests and they'll come up. You can do it online. I was suffering from hip pain, and when I saw a group of 2 hot women on the street, suddenly the pain went away. I was shocked. Does hot chick improve health? Yes, having sex with hot chicks proves that, not looking at hot chicks. Including mine, but some of these questions you guys ask are dumb, no disrespect. Well, Nebuchadnezzar is asking a lot of illicit questions. That's true. Caleb is the kind of guy, is the type of person who pays the bills early. Yeah. It's called organization and order. You want to live a life of order, not chaos. I think the point of bunk mode is that you miss this. The more you engage in sex, the more it will be on your mind. Incorrect. That's false. If you minimize sex, it won't be on your mind as much, so you can focus much better. Okay, monk mode means you're having 0 sex. How does that help? That doesn't help. Yeah, if you're having sex every day and you knock it down 3 times a week, sure. That's what I do. 2 to 3 times a week. That's not too much. Monk mode is 0. How do you kill your job metaphorically fast? Is it possible to land 2 consulting clients in 3 months? Yes, it's possible. We've had people do it. But you got to work hard and focused. Yes. You can quit any of you listening to the sound of my voice, any of you in the Western world could quit your job within 6 months at the most. Any of you. You can. Yeah, make a bunch of excuses, but I'm right. I've seen it happen too many times. 6 months. I've seen it happen on our focus program. I've seen it happen on Idea Business Builder. I've seen it happen to 500K Accelerator. I've seen it happen with guys I coach. Any of you could quit your job within 6 months. You better get to work, though. You better be working hard. Yes, consulting 1 or 2 clients. Quit your fucking job, man. 6 months. John Somnitz, Bulldog Mindset, friend of mine, he says, and he's right, any man is 1 or 2 years? I think it's 1 year. Any man is 1 year away from his perfect body. It's true. It doesn't take 5 years to get ripped. 1 year. Now that year is going to be a lot of work, but you can do it. Everyone listening to the sound of my voice could be in a location-dependent business and out of the collapsing Western world in 6 months, starting from today. Before next summer, you could be there. You got to get your ass to work. But I don't want to work because all right, make a bunch of excuses and be a pussy. That's fine. Right. Trump won the election. Many Americans are planning to leave the country. They're not going to leave. No one's going to leave the country. They should. Left-wingers and right-wingers should leave the country. They should do what I did, but they won't. Have you seen an increase in business as Google searches for leaving the United States has increased to an all-time high? Ignore what people say and only pay attention to what they do. No one is going to leave the United States. Left-wingers, I've talked about this by blogs, are really risk-averse in terms of that stuff. Left-wingers don't leave countries. The people who leave countries tend to be right-wingers or libertarian-ish type people like me. It's very rare for a left-winger to leave the country because they don't want to leave mama's tit. Right-wingers eventually, some right-wingers, not very many, eventually get fed up and leave. And libertarian people like me definitely leave. So no, I don't care what they're Google searching. Show me the stats in a year of the number of people who actually left the country, didn't come back. There's going to be no increase. Well, there will be an increase. It increases every year, organically because America's collapsing. So there's been no spike in the number of people, no spike in the rate of increase. There will not be. I've never been in love with a woman. Girls have had feelings for me before, but not the other way around. I've lusted through girls. So what is wrong with me? Am I a psycho or something? Depends how old you are. If you're 22, never been in love, that's normal. If you're 60, never been in love, then you're a psycho or something's wrong with you. Depends how old you are. Even though you said alpha male 1.0s will be fine and not fucked like betas, however, what negative outcomes will alpha male 1.0s face in the dark age? Drama. More drama and conflict. As things get worse in society, alpha male 1.0s get even more angry and their women get even more angry. So drama and stress. I have a book coming out, hopefully before Christmas. If not, it'll be January, where I address this directly. This emotional component to the collapse, which is something I don't talk about very much, but it's critical. If you're trying to save yourself from Western collapse and the possible AI takeover, the last thing you want to do is be screaming at your wife or wives or girlfriend or girlfriends. It's the last thing you want. It'll drag you down like a sea anchor. You're fucked. That's the downfall of alpha male 1.0s. What if someone is a firefighter, a police officer, or something they actually enjoy? But okay, Nebuchadnezzar, I'm going to ignore your stupid questions. Stop this. When you stay in a job long, you lose your authentic self, and it's hard to express yourself because you're so being political. Accurate. To a lot of people, yes. I know people who are corporate people, company people who have been in the corporate world like for 30 years. They think completely differently. Their thought processes are completely different. These are the people who say, well, we got to vote for Kamala because Trump sucks. Or we got to vote for Trump because that is very corporate, black and white A-B thinking. And there's a whole population of people like this, including people in my family. And they're wonderful people, but it fucks your brain, dude. Isn't your model only possible if you have your own business? Yes, Alpha Male 2.0 requires your own business. I'm going to skip some of your questions, Nebuchadnezzar. Are you still considering offering Uruguay as a residency service? If not, where are you considering? Billy is now in charge of that completely. Yes. However, the problem with Uruguay is you do have to be there. You have to kind of live there for a year, which kills the number of people who would want to sign up for it. So the only people getting residency in Uruguay are people who want to move to Uruguay and live there most of the year. So that's the challenge with Uruguay. I prefer to have residencies where you don't have to live there. So otherwise, if we say, get Uruguay residency, you got to live there for 2 years to do it. 90% of people who might have gotten residency will say, no, I can't live in Uruguay for a year and a half. That's the problem with Uruguay. What are we considering? Philippines and, I've talked to Billy. Maybe we go back and offer Panama again. And we have to keep updating the service because they keep fucking changing. Panama is still kind of cool. It's just the residency sucks. I don't know. This is more of a Billy thing now. Hand it over to that. I'm focused on Business Builder. And something else that I can't talk about that some of you know about. Actually, let me talk about that really quick before I can hear your questions. Hang on. You guys see that? Hang on. Right now, I did this about a year ago. I'm doing it again just for Black Friday. We're having an early Black Friday sale. What you can do now, right now, www.caleb.top/massive. You can get every course I have ever done in my entire life, every mini course I've ever done in my entire life, and every book I have written in my entire life. It's about $15,000 if you were to buy them all individually. For the next 5 days, the deadline is what? Monday night, EST? Few $100. $200, $300, $400. Every course I've ever done. Here's the gigantic list. And you can buy just the business and international courses if you want, or you can buy just the dating courses, or you can buy all the courses and books. Business in 5 Flags bundle, how to get clients. These are video courses. Alpha 2.0 business course, location independent 6-figure consultant, travel ace, how to travel internationally with ease, escape plan, which is how to move to another country, pick a country for you. Get residency, how to get residency Paraguay, UAE, Panama, or Armenia. Mini courses, earn more, build your team, cut your taxes, how to find a niche, how to monetize a blog, how to write a book, how to make money selling courses, location independent selling, how to make money in real estate, set up a corporate. Look at all this shit. You get all this. Samson the Wizard, Begin to Come from Little Work, buy 2 books. Get that. The dating one, Younger Man Lifestyle Toolkit. These are the courses now. Date Many Women, Ultimate Open Marriage course, Maximum Freedom course. That Maximum Freedom course, you buy it separately is $1,500. Just that one course. $200, $300, $400. You get it as part of this giant bundle. Just until Monday. How to Date Younger Women, Ultimate Online Dating Manual, of course, updated for the 2020s. Convert your monogamous relationship to open. There you go. Mini courses. 7, 8 mini courses. And you get all these books. The Unchained Man, the new one. You get the new one. Ultimate Online Dating Manual, Get to Sex Fast, Ultimate Open Marriage Manual, Ultimate Younger Women Manual, Ultimate Open Relationships Manual. You get all this. Over 100 hours of video, 200 hours of audio, thousands of pages of supplemental reading material, hundreds of pages of supplemental documents, $15,000 in training. If you get it, only available for the next 6 days. $200, $300, $400. You get it all until Monday night. Then, if you get the course, some of you already know what I'm talking about, but you're sworn to secrecy. You get something else, but I can't talk about that publicly. Some of you know what I'm talking about. So if you get the course, you're going to get an email and a little page that comes up where I have a video explaining something else. Some of you know what this is. Don't talk about it. It's only people who buy certain products and services I offer. People who are serious about the material. I'm not talking about this publicly. And don't tell anybody. So you get that too. Secret bonus. Not going to talk about that. www.caleb.top/massive. Only until Monday night. Then you can't get it. I'm going to turn it off. Okay? Black Friday thing. Early Black Friday because I'm traveling next week. All right. Okay, I'm continuing your questions here. Where the hell? Hang on. Where's my little banner thingy? Oh, here it is. I'll skip it. Okay. Let's see, where were we here? Lost my place. When you talk about white women. I like Asian girls too. Okay, hang on. Where's my questions? Jesus, you guys are asking more questions? Fuck. Okay. Fuck. Where was I? Here we go. Okay. What's your advice for ENFJ type context in terms of dating women, business, and goal setting? Very broad question, not a question I can answer in a quick Q&A like this. I'm sorry. Control your emotions and get to work. On Tinder, you advise to put your status as casual fun if that means something you truly want. No, that's not my advice. My advice is to put in the most least bad thing that women will interpret least badly, unless it's a total lie. So short-term dating, long-term dating. They always change whatever the equivalent is now. Tinder changes every year. Now, if that's literally, you don't want short-term dating or long-term dating, you're going to have to put casual fun, but that may damage your response rates. Can you do niche research in December during the holidays? Yes, you can, but not during the Christmas week. How do you get romantic without being a beta simp? Is this you again, Nebuchadnezzar? I'm not going to answer the question. I'm trying to set my goals into the SLA described in your book. Which area would include things like setting up residencies and citizenships, not specifically for money or recreation? Then why are you doing it? What is the reason? That tells you where the SLA is. You're doing it for a reason. What is your reason? Meet hot girls, then it's your woman life. Save money, then it's financial. Depends what your reason is. Also, when going on vacation or traveling abroad, is it that a good opportunity to take fresh new photos for dating apps? You got to be careful with that, because you don't want pictures of you standing in front of Chichén Itzá. No one wants to see Chichén Itzá. They want to see you. So not really. You want to see pictures of you, not you with the Eiffel Tower on a dating app. Picture of you. So not really. Have you heard the story of Luke, the man told by Andrew and Tristan Tate, where an African guy ended up fucking a hot Hungarian chick and he had nothing but bravery? How can bravery take you to places you never imagined? That's something that men are lacking. As Luke, I have no idea what we're talking about. Has a woman said to you during sex, fuck you, fuck me, you cracker? Are you making a joke? Or has she ever said another man's name during sex? How did you react? Okay. I've only had sex with two black women in my life, neither of whom were from the United States. One was from the Bahamas and one was directly from Africa. So no, they never said, fuck me, you cracker. Has a woman ever said another man's name during sex? That has never happened to me. Have you ever dated a woman who drives a Rolls Royce or a Bentley? Yes. Andrew Tate will be free. The Romanian court dismissed his case. He said because of a Trump, as Andrew Tate is a U.S. citizen, he has connections to Don Jr. Thoughts. I'll believe it when it happens. Now Andrew Tate can travel to Dubai. Are you worried he can do that? Why would I be worried? I don't understand your question. Why would I care when Andrew Tate goes? Do all three of your PDMs prefer to never have sex with other men then? Paraguay PDM, yes. Pink Firefly, yes. Dubai girl, probably not 100% sure, but she's not an official PDM yet. We'll see in 6 months. Have you dated women that come from old money or rich women in general? How do they compare to everyone else? And how did you got them? Yes, not many, 2, I think. How did I get them? Normal online dating. They're out there. What's really funny is I dated one as an MLTR many years ago, and she was sitting there. I still remember the restaurant we were sitting at, and she's like, "Look, so I'm just letting you know that, like, you know, because she had money and she made like 6-figure income and stuff. She was 29, worked in the corporate world, blonde and cute, and she's like, so look, just so you know, if I marry a man, he's gonna have to sign a prenup." And I'm just smiling, sweetheart. You have no idea who you're talking to. Here's a sad statistic. I've talked about this. Wealthy women demand prenups when they marry guys all the fucking time. Wealthy men almost never do because men are pussies. Is it normal if you don't subscribe to certain societal SP programming, i.e. to think Christmas holidays is bullshit and waste of time? You can have celebrations and give any time without society deciding. All right, here's my view on this. I am not a Christian. The Bible is bullshit. There is no such thing as Jesus. It's all BS. He's not the Son of God. I'm sorry. I'm not an atheist. I do believe, I think in a creator or creators because there's evidence to suggest this. Christianity is bullshit. Islam is bullshit. Judaism is bullshit. It's all societal programming. Now, what's also true is I love Christmas. I don't have to be a believer in Jesus Christ or Christianity to love Christmas. I love Christmas music. I love Christmas decorations. I love the snow during Christmas. I sing Christmas songs as I'm working. I'm going to really enjoy December. I might go to Europe for Christmas this year so I can have some snow because I'm in Dubai. Love Christmas. So I can enjoy. Oh, you know what else I like? I love Easter. Total Christian holiday. But I was raised Catholic, so I have this thing like Easter is fun. So I love Easter. Easter's great. Don't believe in any of it. It's all horseshit. You can still enjoy it. You can watch Lord of the Rings movie and enjoy it. No, it's bullshit, right? Same thing with holidays. Will the 4B movement hurt dating? I've never heard of this. Meaning women saying no to marriage, sex, no dating, no child. But women are never going to do that. Only a small percentage of angry feminists. Women want to get married and have babies. It's a biological imperative. It's just silly. Have you ever talked about your personal home disaster kit supplies? Yes. What are some minimums? My new book coming out in about a month. What do you think about Musk and his Doge? He's smart enough to come up with some significant government cuts and improvements, right? I just talked about this in my blogs. Any of you idiots, pro-Trump idiots who think Musk is going to do any net cuts to government spending, you are literally stupid and or brainwashed. It's like Trump's going to build a wall, Caleb. No, he's not. Elon Musk is not going to make any net cuts. Here's what's going to happen. He's going to make a few cuts over here while Trump increases spending by trillions of dollars over here. And then my prediction is Elon Musk will eventually retire in disgust because they won't make the cuts he wants. Watch, I will be right. Here's something I'm going to do for you guys, you Trumpers. I'm going to do this. What date does Trump become president? Is it January 21st? The day Donald Trump becomes president, I'm going to post an image on my blogs, on my YouTube channel, on all my social media. I'm going to present 4 or 5 numbers. The amount of money the government spends per year, government spending, total government spending, the deficit, the government debt, government spending to GDP. I'm going to publish those 4 numbers the day Trump becomes president. Then I'm going to wait 2 years, and I'm going to publish them again in 2 exact years. And you are going to see all 4 or 5 of those numbers skyrocket like you've never seen in your life. And you're all going to look stupid because you're irrational and you're brainwashed. Government is going to grow massively under Trump because now that Republicans control all of Congress and the presidency, whenever that happens, government grows on steroids. And the number one reason America's collapsing is because government spends too much goddamn money. And you just elected someone who is going to jack up government spending like you have never seen in your life. I'm going to be right. I'm going to show you the pictures. I'm going to show you the numbers. Wait 2 years and show you the numbers again. And you guys are going to look stupid again. As a 28-year-old virgin, I finally got my first kiss. That's cool. Good. It's great. I remember my first kiss. I was so happy. Oh, I was so happy. Man, I was just like, yes. I'm like screaming yes in my car because she was hot too. I'm like, oh, yeah. All right. So that's great. The girl is down to have sex, but it's hard to get her out. She's in medical school. That's an excuse. That's bullshit. How to calm the desperation for sex. Can't stop thinking about her. It's because you're a virgin. Schedule her hardcore as soon as you can. Don't make any excuses. Don't you just say, hey, when can you meet up? Can you meet up tomorrow? No. How about tomorrow at 7? No. Okay. How about Friday? No. How about Saturday? Just be aggressive. Andrew Tate said, my favorite comments, that he wants 25 kids. Okay. Do you think someone like Andrew Tate can do something like yourself where there's multiple wives? I don't think he can absolutely do it. Any high-income man can have all the kids he wants. I've addressed this on my blogs. Is it cool to have 25 kids? Can you be a good dad to 25 children? Be honest. No, you can't. Now, Andrew Tate, if he was serious, said, I don't care. Great. If you don't care, have as many kids as you want. Any millionaire could have, I could have 100 kids. So could Andrew Tate. Is that good to the kids? You have to spend time with kids to raise them properly. As a father, I have 2 kids. I could have more. I don't think so, but I could. Need time. 25 kids? No. My parents had 5 kids. That was hard enough. I was one of 5. It was tough. They pulled out. It was hard. 25? How do you be a good dad to all 25 kids? You can't. Now, if you don't care, do whatever you want. Remember at one point you mentioned that every alpha male 2.0 man should have FBs all the time. Correct. And I said it again earlier. FBs and MLTRs are optional. Correct. But FBs are mandatory. Correct. Are you going to forego FBs for yourself after a certain point? Probably. But I'm doing something at an advanced level. And I'm going to keep FBs as, well, what did I say last time? Not 100%, no. If I go to the UK for a month, I'm not having sex for a month because I'm not with any of my wives. So I will see FBs. So the answer is I'm not going to forgo FBs 100%, but I'm going to drop them down to lower numbers. Which countries are best for day game, online game, etc.? Very broad question. The lowest ASD countries are Philippines, followed by Latin America. One thing I would like to do is date a white girl so pissed off the father as they don't like it when daughters date outside their race. Okay, are you brown? Are you not white? I don't know. We also fooled around a bit. We were dating, doing heavy foreplay. Same thing, son. Get to work and schedule that meet. So get her over so you can have sex. Do white women like it when non-white men give them attention, as non-white women always complain that white women get a lot of attention and how white women sometimes feel superior? No, you're generalizing. That's black women say that, and sometimes Latino women. Asian women don't complain about white girls, do they? I wonder why. Because Asian women are hot, and guys like Asian women. I'm not saying black women aren't hot. I'm saying it's a different dynamic, isn't it? I've had sex with 2 black women. Black women can be hot when they're hot. You did an article on the ages of men. Do men in their early 30s have it good? More life experience, wisdom, but still have the youthful energy. I would say it's men in their 40s now. I said men in their 40s is prime time. You're a mature man, but you still have all the energy. As long as you're taking care of your health, you still have all the energy of a guy in his 30s or 20s. There's certain like athletic things you can't do anymore, but women don't care about that. I was listening to Trump, and my sister, hot neighbor, found out as she came over to my sister's place. She looked at me shocked in disbelief and rolled her eyes. Did I ruin my chances with her? You sound like you have one-itis. Move on. You mentioned Pink Firefly has high sex drive. That's not exactly true. She has a high sex drive relatively often. Women, I've said this before, men are horny. Here's my saying. Men are horny. Women are horny when they're horny, which is very different. Sometimes Pink Firefly is not horny, but when she's horny, she's extremely horny, mainly because she's in her 40s. I've said many times, the horniest women on earth are women in their 40s. They have high ASD. So if you've never fucked them before, it's going to be difficult. But if you've already fucked them, oh, they're monsters. Moving on. Do you believe a large part of this is the fact you are non-monogamous? Yes. She's seen pictures of women I'm with. That raises her attraction, even if it pisses her off a little bit, correct? Then her drive would shrivel like most other women if you were monogamous. Likely, but not guaranteed. Likely, yes. Speaking of examples of confident betas, can you list examples of black confident betas? Not off the top of my head, no. Is the rate of black guys being beta increasing? Yes, because the rate of all Western men being beta is increasing because of cultural factors, testosterone, shit in the plastic when you drink water. Yeah. If so, why even when they're perceived as most alpha? Black men are still more alpha than white men on average. That doesn't change, but they are becoming more beta. That is both true at the same time. Have you met any guys who have an OLTR and just one super FB? No, super FB is a concept, not a real thing. No. Who is way overly sexualized and can get all of his crazy fantasies met. How can you get all your crazy fantasies met from one woman? That doesn't make any sense. Your question makes no sense. If one is working on multiple projects with the view of completing them soon, what advice do you give preparing and making 2025 a great year? I'll do a live stream about that. I'll do a podcast about this in December. How to make 2025 a great year. Now, I don't look at years anymore. I look at quarters. I look at the 12-week year. So I've deleted the concept of the year from my brain. But I know most of you guys haven't done that, so I will address that. Regarding your advice on leaving a relationship, I set up a safety deposit box with cash in the short term. Good. I don't want to tell anyone, but I feel I need to should something happen to me. Recommendations. 2% rule. 2%. What are the odds you're going to die in the next 12 months? It's way less than 2%. For guys living Alpha 2.0 would live in OLTR with kids that live at home, how would they manage the separation of rooms between husband and wife and kids per your model, separate kitchens, etc.? Go to open-marriage.com and buy that book. Or get the big bundle right there on the screen. You'll get the book as part of the bundle, $200 and some courses. Tells you exactly how to do it. Basically, you want 2 separate kitchens and 2 separate bathrooms. But Caleb, houses don't have separate kitchens. Use a little fucking creativity. I've done this several times with Pink Firefly. You just need a room with a sink in it. Another room with a sink. That's it. You bring in a little refrigerator. You bring in one of those desktop stoves. You bring in a microwave. There's your kitchen. And you give her the kitchen. Whoever's more into cooking, give that person the kitchen. Usually it's the girl. That's it. And bathroom is easy. You have 2 bathrooms. Don't move in a house that has 2 bathrooms. Have you ever come across women who have grape fantasies watching the algorithm? Oh, I see. Okay. Yes, that's very common, especially with Gen Z. Even though these women have various types of fantasies, what do you think causes them to have this particular type? Porn. A, modern day porn, which I've discussed. And B, they really were raped at some point. I think at a certain point, betas get so fed up, they just start acting like alpha by default. Some betas do, and more betas could. Have you heard the story of, okay, you already talked about this. What tool would you advise to use on WordPress blog to put down a countdown for selling a product? I don't do technical work anymore. I outsource all that. You're asking the wrong guy. We all know women hit a wall at age 30. That is incorrect. I have an entire video about that. That is false. There is no wall at 30. You are wrong. That you're watching too much red pill shit. Women who are 30 years old are fucking gorgeous right now. That's incorrecto. That what age do you think men hit the wall? 35. If they hit the wall mentally. You talk about physically? If he takes care of himself, 60. If he doesn't take care of himself, late 30s. It's not just being 1.0 that can make one-itis hit harder. Date a lot of women and you will come across mentally ill, borderline women who love bomb you and truly will make you feel different. Okay. It's fine. You still make the decision. If a woman is deeply mentally ill, you can still make the decision. She's great as an FB or a low-end MLTR. I have had FBs and low-end MLTRs who had some mental problems. I've had them. Didn't date these girls as girlfriends. Didn't make them OLTR. You can make that decision. You're not that dumb. You have control over your head. Alpha male 1.0 is a mindset, and someone could be fat or physically short. 1.0, can some betas be good looking, ripped, and dressed nice despite being a beta? Yes. Most ripped guys are betas. I've talked about this. Yeah. Is it easy, these types of transition? Easy is a mental process, so no. It has nothing to do with how you look. I know this is a cheeky move asking you a coaching question. Could you please do a 1-minute deep dive on maintaining very high traction in an OLTR? No, I cannot. Why do pets look like having... Okay. James Brown remix. I'm sorry, you got to go. You're being weird. Hang on. Is day game still a good and viable option in your 30s and into your 40s? Past 50s, you could do it. Yeah, you bet. There's some calibrations you need to make. Don't ask more details. I don't teach day game. The answer is yes. How can I deal with feelings overwhelmed with all the feelings I have to do, all the things I have to do? I have a hard time getting dating leads since move. Oh, it's your same question. All right. You have to sit down. The book you want to read is Getting Things Done by David Allen. You need to read that book. It's a short book. If you're overwhelmed with all this shit, read that book. I can tell you what to do, but you should just read that book. You need, but at a minimum, you sit down with a spreadsheet, make a giant list of everything you can do, and prioritize it. Get it on paper. It's all in your head right now. That's the problem. But read that book. For a hard time getting dating leads since moving, how can I keep my head up while dealing with the stress and lack of women? Increase your activity And if you're doing online dating, get new photos. I have 2 FBs at the moment. I've been off the app since August. I need to sort out my mental health and get my finances and life in order. I'll jump back on when I've done so. Good plan. Yeah, if you have 2 FBs, you do whatever you want. Yeah, you're good. Caleb, what are the most interesting IRL people you have come across apart from yourself? Brian Tracy, Dan Kennedy, my heroes, some of my heroes. Some men that aren't famous. If I said their names, you would know who they are. Lean more, Alpha 1.0 and moving toward 2.0. And one of my MLTR left because she says I'm a Trump supporter, even though I never said I was. Odds of her coming back around. It depends on how you behave during the relationship. If you were monogamous, low. If you act like a boyfriend, low. If you do the cardinal rules, very high. Depends how you behaved. And I don't believe you. I think you did said something to indicate you were a Trump supporter. So I don't believe you. I think you did let something slip. Stop talking about politics with women if you live in the United States. You stupid Americans still living in America. Why are you still there? You guys live in the United States. Less to a degree Canada and Australia, but definitely you guys live in the States. Shut the fuck up about politics with women. What the fuck are you doing? Are you an idiot? Why do you guys insist on talking about Trump? I didn't talk about you. You said something. Shut your fucking mouths. Rule number 1 on first dates, this is an extension of what I just said, is to what? She does 80% of the talking. Shut your fucking mouths. God damn it. There's an old saying, it's a Portuguese saying, do you want to be right or do you want to get paid? Do you want to be right or do you want to get paid? Which one do you only get one? When you talk about Trump with women, you want to be right. You're not going to get paid, in this case, laid. You want to be right or you want to get laid? You want to spout your mouth off and talk about whatever you want, or do you want to get pussy? Which one do you want? You only get one. Now, if you hate that, leave America. In Dubai, when you date girls, in Paraguay, when you date girls, where I live, you can talk about Trump all you want, and no girls care because they're not Americans. But if you live in America and you insist on dating American women, live in the United States, live in the collapsing West, what the fuck? Great. Shut the fuck up about politics. I don't know why I got to keep telling you guys this. It's a recurring thing with you idiots. Jesus Christ. I'm a hardcore minarchist libertarian, and I fucked most of the women in Portland, Oregon, left-wing haven. You think I talk about my libertarian politics with chicks? No. I kept my goddamn mouth shut and let her talk. Well, I'm going to vote for Bernie Sanders. Great. Shut up. The quickest way to get into a more alpha male mindset, hit the gym. I agree a lot. I've been fat and jacked, not only with women, but people in general respond to you with more respect when you're safe, feeling confident. Agree. Exercise is core. Alpha male 2.0 minimum, exercise hard, at least once every 48 hours where you're sweating. Cardio, lifting weights, I don't care. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Fell in the habit of responding to a post-talk, semi-long distance, high-end MLTR every day. What's the best way to get out of this habit? Fell in the habit of responding to a post-talk, responding to a woman, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know what you're saying. You can respond to a woman. I have your ultimate younger woman manual, and I love it, but I still struggle with extreme anxiety approaching VYWs. How do I be more OI at age 45 without feeling like a total creep? You'll have some of this when you're doing this the first time. The first time you hook up with a 19-year-old, that'll all go away. You just got to you got to willpower through that. You're going to feel a little weird. The first time I did day game, way back in the day when I was an older man, day gaming 19-year-old, 18-year-old chicks, I felt a little weird too. And then I fucked one. I'm like, oh, this is easy. Let's get more of this. So it's one of those things you just have to push through mentally. I will get 2 proofreaders as a current proofreader is male. I want to use a female as the second one. Could I do that? Is there advantage doing this? The gender of the proofreader has literally nothing to do with it. I do not feel hungry for money. Do you think I have a chance of finding the motivation to start a business? Sure. I started engineering, quantum field theory, and general relativity. Marketing bores me. Yes, because there are other reasons to start a business besides money. A lot of people start a business. They have no intention of getting wealthy. They don't care about money. They hate their fucking job. They hate having a job. They hate having a boss. The biggest reasons I started my first business way back when I was a young guy was not because I wanted to be a billionaire or a gazillionaire. I wanted to make money. That wasn't the reason. I hated working 40, 50 hours a week on salary where I got paid the same amount of money every week or every month. I went to my boss. Can I take 2 weeks off? You don't pay me? No. Fuck you. Of course not. Can I work double the overtime, 80 hours? You pay me double? No. I have no control over my income. It wasn't that I made it one. I hated having a boss. My first job, real corporate job, I had to put up a little flag with my color on it when I went to take a 15-minute bathroom break. We're adults. We're treated like kindergartners. It was insane. And if there are only two flags, if there are already two flags up, I had to wait and hold my pee before someone would take their flag down. Sitting in my little fucking cubicle. I didn't want to be treated like a child. So money doesn't have to be the motivating factor. I'm feeling strong jealousy, insecurity because my MLTR. Okay, read The Unchained Man and or The Ultimate Open Relationships Manual and do the exercises. If you're feeling lots of jealousy, do the exercises. You're not doing them. Continuing on, because my MLTR, who has only been with me 8 months, is deciding she might sleep around. I haven't been able to get other cute women lately. How can I deal? Read The Unchained Man. Buy the thing. Buy the bundle. So your cousin was still banging both his wife and his girlfriend. He is right now. Yes. Mostly his girlfriend, but he still hooks up with his wife, and neither woman are fucking other men. How is it that men are wired to get needy and clingy with women, yet it's attractive to women when a man is willing to leave? Those are two different reasons. Those reasons are not connected to each other. Shouldn't she be wired to want him to stay and thus be attracted? No, I don't understand your logic there. What do you think of this Tyler Durden quote? Self-improvement is masturbation. Now self-destruction. That quote makes no sense. So the cardinal rules make women develop feelings. Well, the cardinal rules do two things. They heighten attraction and they keep it high. That's what they do. That's the main thing they do. So if a woman's attraction for you is very high, some women, not every woman, but some women are going to fall in love with you. Of course, if they maintain a high attraction for a long time, some women are going to totally fall in love with you. Yeah, it's happened to me. Yep. Not all of them. Not all of them. Yeah. What if FBs start developing feelings? It sucks. You have to have a difficult discussion. Or you upgrade her. If you don't have an OLTR, I have an OLTR. So for me, that'd be a problem. And it's happened. If you don't have an OLTR, you have a decision to make. You want to upgrade her to an MLTR if you really like her? Upgrade her to an MLTR. If you don't want to, you have to have a difficult discussion and just be really nice. Go read the article I just put up at the Alpha Male 2.0 blog last week about the longest consistent FB non-sugar baby I ever had, like 7 years straight. She fell in love with me and I made it work. Go read that article. Hey, Caleb, what do you thought of these movies? Platoon, Labyrinth, and Troy. Platoon is great. Labyrinth is overrated because The Dark Crystal was 10 times better than Labyrinth. Troy is a good movie if you... Troy has good moments. It's not a good movie because the director of that movie said the siege of the Iliad is all about Greek gods. If you read the Iliad, it's all about Greek gods and shit. There are no Greek gods in Troy. You know why? The goddamn director said, I'm not using Greek gods. That's stupid. What? So it's not accurate at all. And it's it's not really an Iliad story, but there are good moments in that movie. What altcoins do you think will do well in the 2025 upcoming crypto bull run? You have no fucking idea if there's an upcoming crypto bull run in 2020. You have no idea. You could be right. You could be wrong. I don't speculate on altcoins, so I can't answer that question. But you're guaranteeing in your brain something's going to happen that may not happen. Are you big into the swingers lifestyle? I do not like swinging. It is not my thing. I know men who really like it. That is absolutely not my thing. I'm not into swinging at all. Never done it. I don't want to. Is it aligned with OLTR? It is not recommended for OLTR because the problem with swinging is you fuck other couples as a couple. What happens when, not if, when your wife says, I don't want to swing anymore? Now you can't fuck other women and now you're monogamous. So it is not recommended for OLTR. Unless you combine it with, I can fuck other women the rest of my life for the rest of our lives. And if you want to go help me fuck other couples, you can, sweetheart. If you combine the two. But if it's only swinging, if the technical definition of swinger is you can't go fuck women on your own. You're not allowed to. Your wife has to be there involved. but you fuck other couples. So as soon as, and this happens all the time, the wife eventually doesn't want to swing anymore, and the guy still wants to, and he's monogamous now. Now you're fucked. These couples keep asking, and some of their chicks are hot, but I want their men around. Then don't be a swinger. This is why I'm not a swinger. I don't do swinging. Too many disadvantages, in my opinion. Do you think your friend, Mr. Lucario, is more of an alpha 1.0 or closer to 2.0? Closer, much closer to 2.0. He's great. Is there anything he discusses that you wouldn't agree with? Yeah, he has a wife and a girlfriend, and he gets drama from his wife. So I don't agree with that. But you know what? That's like 5% of what I disagree with him on. The other 95% of what he comes out of his mouth is like, I agree 100%. So we have very few disagreements, but there's a few little ones. I met his girlfriend. Is she still with him? I forget. Because he spoke at one of my events. She was great. He's a fantastic guy. Love him to death. Recommend him. Mr. Lucario, recommend him to all of you. I once say an old man in driving a Lamborghini, and he was with a hot young chick, looked like she was in her mid-20s as she came out of the car. Is sugar daddy game something old men will need to do to get hot young chicks? Yes, I've said this many times. Once you're over the age of about 60 to 65, if you want to bang hot young girls, you're going to have to do sugar daddy game. There's no way around it. Yes. Over 60 or 65. 50s, no. I can hook up with chicks without paying them, and I'm in my 50s, so no. 60 plus, yeah, because once you get to like 65, you look old. And there's not much, even if you're fit, you still have an old face, generally speaking. Now, 20 years from now, 65 won't look like 65 today. So as time goes on, I'm going to increase that number. 20 years from now, I'll say it's 75 or 70s. Because you're going to look younger and younger. Let's talk about it. Okay, I've gone over this. I'm going to have to wrap this up in a few minutes. So a few more questions. I got to go. What do you think about the women in the USA co-opting the Korean 4B movement? Again, someone already asked that. Hi, Caleb. I have pretty high total T naturally, but my free T is extremely low. How to boost my free T, please? That is an area I'm not skilled at. You need to talk to a doctor. I don't know the answer to that question. If you're high, I mean, I'm taking you at your word that you have a high total T. So your high total T is over 800, or is it 500? That's not high. But if you have well over 800 total T and your free T is super low, I don't know how to fix that. Talk to a doctor. That's odd, though. Something's weird's going on in your body. Have you ever coached or helped someone with ADHD with a 2.0 stuff and business? Yes, I have. And Billy really has. Is it compromising with a woman to sign a weakness? Is compromising with a woman a sign of weakness? No, as long as the items are not minor. Not major. You can compromise on minor items. With an OLTR, that is okay. You don't compromise with FBs. No. You do not compromise with MLTRs. No. OLTR, the little things, compromise fine. The big things, no. Are you compromising yourself by being compromising and thus driving a track? Okay, what I said. I think 2 years if you don't have much muscle. I think 2 years if you don't have much muscle mass yet. Losing weight is faster, but muscle mass is slow without PEDs. Oh, on your perfect body? To quote him accurately, he said 1 year away from your perfect body and then another year for something else. So I'm fucking up his quote a little bit. So maybe you're right. Let's say you're 1 year away from a body that you would consider fucking amazing. What do you think are some good guys on YouTube to follow? I don't watch a lot of YouTube these days. I'm busy working. So I don't know. Mr. Lucario, there's one. Most of the guys I follow are guys that don't apply to you. Like I love Alex Hormozi. Alex Hormozi, as I've said, does not apply to 99% of men. Only 1%. Guys who make, high incomes and want to make even more high income, who are workaholics. If one already has their location dependent sorted and they just need to market and launch it, can I leave the UK in 3 months? If you already have the location dependent sorted and you need to market and launch it. Yes, if you already have the offering. If you're niched and your offering is applying to the problem the niche already has reported and you're not selling something you want to sell just because you want to sell it, There's a lot of ifs. Yes. Do you have a book on starting a location independent business? Yes. Go to store.calebjones.com. It's called Big Income on Little Work. Or get this bundle and you'll get all kinds of stuff. You'll get 3 courses on how to start a location independent business for a few $100. Way cheaper than Business Builder. I'm very close to signing up for Mexican residency. I want that passport. What type of flag is that for you? It's a residency flag, and it may someday be a passport flag. I haven't decided on that one, but it's a residency flag. Only concerned about its close relationship with the USA. I agree with you. Well, I didn't know Philippines has a residency option. It is, but it's a little more complex. The Oura Ring app is super annoying. You have to update it constantly, and sometimes it doesn't read the data from a night's sleep. I don't have that problem. I'm living in Vietnam on the tourist visa for now. Would love to have a residency in Asia eventually. Cool. The bonus you get is very good. That's all I'll say about it. Cool. You could say, yeah, you could say that, make that statement. Yeah. From a libertarian perspective, do you think being required to go in for jury duty is indentured servitude? I wouldn't go that far, but I'm against mandatory jury duty. Yes, I'm completely opposed to that. Government cannot force you to do anything. Unless you directly violate someone's person or property. That's the only exception. If you're a true libertarian, not someone who calls himself a libertarian and votes for Trump, who's one of the biggest big government presidents in human history. If you're a true libertarian, you cannot have the government forcing you to do anything if you haven't committed a crime or haven't violated a contract. So therefore, yes, I'm totally against them forcing you to report for jury duty. Correct. If you had a kid with one of your wives, what would you say the probability is that she either stays with you or lets you continue to see and raise the kid, or lets you continue to see and raise the kid until the kid is 18? The probability with my 2 women I have in mind, at least the Paraguay one, extraordinarily high. Extraordinarily high, but nothing is 100%. I can't give you a statistic. 80%, at least 80. Have you considered freezing sperm? No, because I don't have a vasectomy. How will you have a backup if you get rid of all your FBs? That's not what I said. Go back and listen to the live stream again. That's not what I said. Would you highly recommend Austria? Innsbruck. Oh, would highly recommend Innsbruck, Vienna for Switzerland, and Zermatt for skiing for Christmas. Yeah, it's Austria, Switzerland. I'm looking at Salzburg. So I'm looking at, don't know yet. But you're right, man. Austria, Switzerland. I don't ski. If you ski, you're guaranteed to break an arm. Literally. I'm not making a joke. If you ski, you're going to break something at some point. I want to break an arm. And I'm too big. I don't have a body. I have a body for playing football, American football, not skiing. Do you think Dogecoin will pump because of the Department of Government Efficiency? Doge. I don't know. Have you gotten a vasectomy? No. Will Smith might be a black confident beta. Not sure no. Will Smith is an alpha male 1.0 who got one-itis. He is the classic example of what happens when an alpha male 1.0 gets stupid one-itis. Will Smith. There you go. He's a poster child for this. White dads may or may not care about their daughter dating interracially. Sounds like a limiting belief. White dad. I didn't say white dads. I said Asian dads do. And they do. Do all of them? No, but all of them do. Do you agree with the notion that virtually everything in life is sales? No. Thanks for answering my questions. Much appreciated. You're welcome. Does each one of your PDMs have to live in a different country? Right now, yes. I could change that later depending on their behavior. Is it possible to have all 3 PDMs in the same city? No. I wouldn't do that. Then you're almost back to having 3 wives in your house. Not quite. Now, is it possible? Sure. I said that several years from now, it is possible. I'm not saying I'm going to do this. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. It may not happen. Probably won't happen, but it's possible that I will have the PDM, Dubai PDM, and Pink Firefly moves back to Dubai. And I'll have 2 PDMs in the same city. Maybe. They have some convincing to do for me. They got to convince me based on their actions and not their promises. Ignore what women say. Only pay attention to what they do. And I have several tests that I can put them through and watch them carefully and see how they handle them. Maybe. But no, you can't have 3 wives in the same city. You're going to have drama. When you don't do something non-sexual that your woman wants to do, does it still raise attraction? Yes, it doesn't have to be sexual. It has nothing to do with sexual or not. Any request she makes when you say no raises attraction. Yes. It has nothing to do with the sexual or not. You can make huge progress in a year. I had clients with cysties. Okay, yeah, I agree. On the body thing, yeah, agree. All right, 2 more questions. I got to go. Hi, Caleb. Your 2 wives are from referral game. Correct. How did you meet the chicks that were ones referred to you? Online dating. I only do online dating and referral game. That's all I do. I don't do anything else. I don't do day game. I don't do night game. I'm too old. I don't do that stuff. I don't do social circle game anymore outside of referral game. So every one of my life in the last several years has been referral game, the vast majority, and some have been online dating. That's it. I don't do anything else. Do you think RFK Jr.'s fitness level is achievable at that age without TRT? No, he is definitely on TRT. All the guys are, and that's good. That's fine. I'm on TRT. TRT is great. I don't think you should do steroids. I think that's stupid. That's what The Rock is doing. The Rock is my age. He's in his 50s. He looks like that. Steroids, not good. Not good. TRT, good. Steroids, bad. Do you think obligated to tell an FB candidate on your first, second date about your OLTR? Depends on the scenario. Depends. So if she's like, if you're doing sugar daddy game, you can tell her. She won't care. If you're doing, here's my model. I tell everybody. Caleb tells everybody everything before the first date. Sometimes I show her a picture of pink firefly. I tell women everything. You can decide when it's appropriate, when it's not, based on the scenario. Here's the thing. You can't lie to women. I don't lie to women. So if you're directly asked, you got to be honest. I'm writing this from Salzburg. Really cool. Hilarious. All right. I'm going to let you guys go. All right. One more question. My question above was about responding every day to an MLTR phone calls. How do I get out of this habit? You just do it. Sometimes you just have to man up and just fucking do it. Sometimes there's no shortcuts. Sometimes there's no hacks or techniques. You just have to stop responding. Put your phone away. You know, sometimes you have to be a fucking man. Sometimes there's no magic bullet. You just have to grit your teeth and fucking do it. And that's what you have to do. Great final question for the day. You could get every course I've ever done, every book I've ever done, every mini course I've ever done, $15,000 worth of stuff for a few $100 just for the next 6 days. www.caleb. What is it? Sorry. www.caleb.top/massive. And when you buy this, you get something else that I can't talk about. Something big. It's big. Some of you know what this is. By the way, if you already bought the course bundle, I think have already received an email about what this thing is. Those who've already bought certain things from me. If you want in on this, get my bundle. You got 5 days. It goes away. It's not like the price goes up. It goes away Monday night. www.caleb.top/massive. And I will not see you next week. I'll be visiting the collapsing USA and watching all the depressed Americans before I finally go back to Dubai where everyone's happy and the weather's great and there are no taxes. So no live streams next week, but I'll post some YouTube stuff. And I'll have some blogs and some other things. Cool? Cool. All right. Thanks, guys.